But especially if it's somebody's criticizing the content, the actual content itself, and it's not being a personal or like, oh, this guy's a piece of shit. It's not personal. Then like you have to let people say that kind of stuff, because if you don't, then it's not like those people are going to go away. They're just going to get more radicalized and get more angry.
Hassan Malds, while reading hate comments from his Trash Taste podcast episode, directs his audience to quote unquote get in and actively counter the brigade. Yeah. And here's the clip.
Mr. President, the second piker has hit the trash taste. Why would you do this, Hassan? Really, the terrorist endorser? Shame. Too bad. I get irritated from just seeing his face. The guy has said so many profoundly idiotic things that I honestly cannot listen to a word from him. The brigade is on, folks. Get in and actively counter the brigade. They dislike botted the video immediately. Lol, it's at 2.5K dislikes.
For sure.
You really upset the
It's
weebs.
not dislike botted. If you have 20,000 comments like that, it's not dislike botted, because like and dislike botting comments would not be the same. It's not botted.
That dude in chat trying to blame all the dislikes on some like dislike bot is just the icing on the cake. But wait, there's another clip to take a look at. This one that reads, Chatter tells Hassan he's out of touch, which he didn't appreciate.
That's bad.
Because sometimes we'll stare into the darkness on this broadcast. Like, we'll look at like what they're saying, and they just can't comprehend how like journalists are still covering this guy in a positive way. What the f is going on? And it's like, dude, why do you think like a 40-year-old journalist has no political convictions of their own? Like, you think they're going to be deluded by like a drama farmer on YouTube, like a slop tuber, and be like, wow, this is a real bad guy?
I don't think that there's actually as big of a difference between journalism and slop content on YouTube. I'm going to be honest. I really don't think so. I think that like a lot of things that pass for journalism immediately go to YouTube. And in fact, I actually think that a lot of the slop content on YouTube is better. That's why when a lot of journalists go to YouTube, they end up getting no views. It's because people don't want to listen to it and people think they're full of shit. The problem is that with a lot of these journalists and these people that do this stuff, they do have political convictions, but the problem is that those convictions are not popularly held. And that's the issue. That's the fundamental problem that exists with like kind of the difference between like media and the public, is that the media is trying to push forward a narrative that the public doesn't agree with and respect. Like, who do you think really is getting more views on these things, right? Is this random newspaper that's having like every single metric for this newspaper is going down? Do you think that's what's getting more views, or do you think that this video that's getting millions of views on YouTube is getting views, right? I mean, which one do you think more people are seeing?
You think they haven't seen internet harassment campaigns before? Yeah. You are so out of touch, holy hell. No, brother, I'm not the one who's out of touch. The people that are going, we hate you because we think this person is an evil person, me, okay? We think your friend that you know better, okay, is actually secretly an evil person because we've seen YouTube videos from rabid haters is an active line of attack. The assumption that
this guy's getting banned.
You as a random commentator, a random commenter online is not out of touch, but I am, because what you expect in terms of like retaliation towards someone like myself is not matching the reality is hilarious.
Dude's really trying to sound not out of touch by citing journalists. Like, oh, 40-year-old journalists support me, as if the opinion of some random journalists prove he's a morally good and not out of touch person. He doesn't even realize that the majority of people despise journalists and don't trust them. It's probably one of the most out of touch things he actually could have said to use for his argument.
Yeah, the journalists are not... Journalism nowadays is activism. Most people are not interested in relaying the truth. They're interested in trying to push an agenda. Yeah, I think it becomes readily evident when you have lie campaigns, like, for example, the campaign about, like, Black Myth Wukong. That was a complete lying campaign. And it's pushed universally with every single group with no pushback. It's because these people are playing on a team. There's not an objective viewpoint here. He just severely underestimates how many people actively dislike him. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't like... I mean, it's very simple, right? I mean, if you look at, like, the elections, you look at, like, a lot of people's opinions, it definitely seems like way less people are agreeing with, like, any sort of, like, super leftist point of view. I think that you're seeing, like, a massive, like, cultural shift away from that. Like it or hate it, but that is the truth.
Of apparently not being out of touch.
So if you have these opinions that nobody agrees with and like the culture is moving away from, you're going to get a lot of negative feedback.
And lastly, there's this tweet that reads, Hassan denies his lolcow status, and in the clip, he's actually still going on about the whole out of touch thing. So let's take a look.
How do you not understand that? Things will keep shocking you over and over again if you are so echo chambered and hug boxed that you genuinely believe that I am considered lolcow by anyone that is a normal human being who goes outside. Okay? That's the problem. You're like a 40-year-old dude on Twitch right now being like, you're the one who's out of touch, Hassan, because in spite of the fact that you are one of the most popular content creators on Twitch, I still think, me and my homies think you're a bad guy. And the more you don't realize that other people don't see it the way that you do, the more you just make up conspiracies in your mind. You can say womp womp all day, but the real womp is happening to you, old man. Calm down.
Why does he keep using this whole like 40-year-old thing? Like, oh yes, the 40-year-old journalists support me. And then this time he's mad at the chatter saying he's like a 40-year-old dude on Twitch. But anyways, I think it's really funny
that's a very good point, by the way. Like you're saying like old people are the ones that are credible in this case, but old people are the ones that are not credible and basically the same thing. It's a very good point.
He's talking about conspiracy theories, but had nothing to say about conspiracy theories when there was this chatter saying like all the dislikes are just some like bots disliking the video. So when it's convenient for him, things are conspiracy theories, but when it's not convenient for him, they're not conspiracy theories apparently. And let me get this part straight. So his defense for being a good person is that journalists support him and that he's one of the most viewed people on Twitch. Is that really the argument that he's going with?
I think if you really want to tell if somebody is a good person or not, you should look at how many negative interactions they've had with other people that they've interacted with on a personal level. So like if, for example, you have somebody who all of the time crashes out and there's like drama with other people, etc., then they're going to be the ones that are going to have the problem. Like it's basically like if you're the common denominator, you are probably also the problem.
We'll take a look at is this tweet that says, Hassan rallies the troops in his Twitter community. The screenshot provided reading, I don't think it's all organic trash taste fans, to be honest. I got lots of weirdos roaming the web recently. It's okay to correct the record, in my opinion. They get away with saying a lot of totally ridiculous things. Everyone is capable of making up their mind if they simply watch the stream.
Again, this is like, it's something that's like partially true, but it's also true Hassan said a lot of out-of-pocket stuff. Like, I mean, people come to this conclusion by watching clips of what he says too. Like, I mean, it's not that simple.
Yeah, people watch the stream and make up their own opinion, but when that opinion's negative, then it's not organic, it's not authentic. That can't be right. It's got to be bots. It's got to be brigading. Anyways, let me know what you think about this whole trash taste Hassan situation. I believe that's
I do think that there are, I mean, again, like I do think for sure there are people that are going to go and they're not really trash taste fans. They're just Hassan anti-fans. And they're going to go and dislike the video because of that. Like, that's absolutely true. Anybody could assume that's true, of course. It doesn't mean that, like, their concerns are invalid.
Most important stuff that we went over. As always, thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed my coverage. And if you did, please consider liking and or subscribing. Have a great week ahead, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is what happens with a lot of people. And, again, it's like if you cover, like, really controversial topics and you cover controversial content like this...
Now the
what ends up happening is that you're going to alienate a lot of people. And that's what's happened with me. That's what's happened with Hassan. As I said, I can give a big list of people that, you know, there are probably a lot of people that would do more things with Hassan publicly if less people hated him. Like, just straight up. Straight up, that's the truth. Because you've got to keep in mind that, again, like, streaming is a job. You know, YouTube is a job. Like, whether you want to say, oh, it's our real job. Yeah, but they're making money off of it, and they need that money to live. So whatever you want to call that, that's what it is. Do they want to do something that gets in the way of that job? Because there's a lot of hate by association that happens. People have recently tried to do that with me, and that's why I have no problem with people distancing from me, because I understand the game and I know how it's played, right? I've streamed for a long time. I have dealt with people trying to, like, people being, you know, two-faced with stuff my entire fucking life. It's really just another day on the job. But yeah, I think that for a lot of these shows, especially shows that are about anime and like other types of escapism things, bringing somebody on that has like a really controversial reputation like Hassan, it's very risky and you risk alienating your audience in a big way.
Fuck you, man. This sucks so much ass.
What's going on? where sort of everybody was sort of in lockstep with whatever the government propaganda was.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, I don't know how many sets you visited, but everybody was like,
So on February
masks.
21st,
Yeah.
Hassan
And
was
then
on the
there'd be different
Trash Taste
zones.
podcast.
Yeah.
And there's a
then,
flood
you
of
get- well,
backlash in the
closer
comment
you get to
section
the actual
about
set
Trash
where the
Taste having...
shooting is, and then that red zone, people, put your mask on. And I was just like, I never bought it. And I never bought it from the beginning. I'm just like, this doesn't feel right. All right, I'm supposed to wear a mask, but I haven't been now at this point. Right now, I haven't been sick in 8 years. Right. Well, back then was 6 years. But it was just like I knew. Well, no, I'm doing the math. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But it had been a long time since I've been sick, and I'm like, I don't feel like I need to wear a mask. So I would just not wear a mask, But everybody else on the set's wearing a mask, which is very discomforting because you can't even relate to people so well without seeing their face.
It's very weird. It was very weird.
Very strange time.
Yeah, the strangest. And it didn't make any sense. And there was also this narrative that if you weren't vaccinated, the virus was going to hunt you down. They keep saying that. The virus will find you. If you're not vaccinated, the virus will hunt you down. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It's so funny. I did a video. Oh, I wish I had it with me. But maybe Ilya's out there, my assistant. Maybe she could pull it up for you.
Is it online?
But I did no. But I did. It's 11 seconds. Yeah, she's listening. Hopefully she'll look at it. But it's like I inhale and hit a pot, right? And then I put on my mask.
And blow it right to the mask.
And I exhale. And it just comes out every, right? And every exhale, and by the way, hundreds of times heavier than like a virus.
Right.
Right? So viruses don't just, what the concept, people have, for people saying, trust in science, very unscientific concepts.
Yeah.
And Fauci, anyway, in the beginning, said, no, we don't need to wear a mask. And then someone said, no, you do. We do. We should wear a mask. And yeah, so silly, that mask, man. Just something about it felt like, it was just like Big Brother won.
Yeah.
Big Brother won.
They want a battle. But I
They
think
want a
ultimately
battle.
that's what's going to cost them the war. I think
Well,
the
what do you
lessons
think?
learned
What do you
from
think Bobby's going to be able to? Think he'll be able to accomplish anything?
This episode is brought to you by Rocket Money. Let's talk about subscriptions. It seems like there's so much you can subscribe to these days. You got the obvious ones like streaming services and shopping, but you also got your coffee subscription, meal kit subscription, the beers from around the world subscription. If you can think of it, there's probably a subscription for it. But let's face it, you sign up for something, forget about it after the trial period ends, and then you're charged month after month after month. The subscriptions are there, but you're not using them. In fact, I just learned that 85% of people have at least one paid subscription going unused each month. That's why you gotta love Rocket Money. It's a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. See all your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For ones you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them. A great feature is Rocket Money's dashboard. It gives you a clear view of your expenses across all of your accounts. You can easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to help keep your spending on track. See your monthly spending trends in each category to know exactly where your money is going. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/JRE today. That's rocketmoney.com/JRE. That's rocketmoney.com/JRE. rocketmoney.com/JRE. Well, one big one that he wants to accomplish is to remove this liability waiver for vaccines and to make them go through real trials.
And how do you think that's going to get through Congress?
We're going to find out. We're going to find out. We're going to find out.
There's no way that gets through Congress.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what
But
the resistance
every one of
is.
those guys is getting money from
A lot
Big
of them
Pharma.
are. A lot of them are.
Well,
but also
certainly all the Democrats.
people are paying attention now, and they will get primaried, and I think they're aware of that. So I think there's a vulnerability for their entire career. If the people find out that they weren't willing to do this in the face of overwhelming evidence, like Bobby was just talking about the hepatitis vaccine, that they were saying that the hepatitis B vaccine, they were having a hard time selling it. And so they all of a sudden started saying, don't worry about it, we're going to prescribe it for children. And they put it on the vaccine schedule for children. And they did that just because they were having a hard time. Because the only time you get hepatitis B is from dirty needles and risky sex. And people are like, I don't want that fucking thing. And so they're like,
You
nobody
want to
was
stand
taking
by
it.
that statement. Those are the only times you get hepatitis B.
I think that's it.
And there's just two possibilities: dirty
What are
sex
the
or
other
dirty
ones?
needles.
Do you know of any other ones?
Well, I mean,
It's
think-
a sexually transmitted disease. And
Oh,
it's
it
often
is?
transmitted-
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
It's
yeah.
transmitted through intravenous drug use.
Okay, then I didn't know. I mean,
Yeah, which is how you think you got hepatitis
I mean,
B.
I just assumed you get run down, like most sicknesses.
No,
you
I
get
don't-
run down, you get sick.
Well, let's Google it. What is the cause of hepatitis B, Jamie? Yeah, it's that's how you get it. You don't get it as a fucking baby. So injecting babies with it, the only reason why they did that is to sell more hepatitis B vaccines. Yeah, if the mother has it. Unprotected sex with an infected person, mother to child during childbirth, breastfeeding if the mother's infected. Yeah. So
Tattooing. Dude, you got a lot of avenues you could be.
Yeah. I guess dirty needles. Same. I guess that falls under dirty needles. Yeah.
But anyway, I just wonder that, it's just, again, the profiteering, like, why are we not talking about profiteering? That should be on everyone's lips.
Exactly. That's what it's all about. That's all the woes and ills of our society. It's people emphasizing profit over humanity. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, it's this fucking disgustingly short-sighted approach because you don't live that long. To live your life just profiteering off of the expense of other people's suffering is so crazy. When you got 80 years if you're lucky, you got 80 summers, 80 spins around the sun, and you're gonna fucking sell people out for some money that you're never gonna have enough of anyway. All those cocksuckers, they all want more. It never ends. They all want a bigger yacht. They all wanted this. They all wanted that. There was always something. It never ends. And somehow or another, we let them get away with it because we're profiting as well. That's
I was wondering about, like, billionaires. You got to figure there's a certain hierarchy of billionaires, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so even if you're a billionaire and you're thinking, well, that guy's, he's good. He's made it, right?
Nope.
Well, no, I want to be the richest guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess it never does end in a way.
Well, if that's what your game is, right? So if your game is just numbers, you're never going to be satisfied. You know, if your game is just numbers, you're always going to look at the other people. Like my friend Brian has a friend that has $3 billion, and he says he hangs out with his billionaire friends and he feels poor because they have $30 billion. Like, you know, crazy. Imagine having $3 billion and feeling poor. But I can kind of understand the thought. I mean, it's stupid.
The poor white trash part of the group. Only $3 bills.
Poor bastard. How's he even buy a country? How do you even affect elections with $3 billion? That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Local elections.
Well, I mean, this is just a symptom of the moral decay of our society. That, you know, we don't have a moral and ethical framework. We don't have a moral and ethical structure that we operate under. And too many people are just motivated by money instead of humanity, instead of looking at people as like a community. We're all a community of people, and you can still profit and you can still make money, but like making more money at the expense of people's lives and suffering should be the most abhorrent thing that we could possibly imagine, especially if you're already wealthy. That should be absolutely disgusting to us. Instead, it's condoned and just like accepted, and you shrug your shoulders. That's what people do.
Well, I think the majority of people agree with you 100% on that, and the majority of people have a very humane and compassionate view of others,
Yeah.
But there are those people who are just, it's like you say, it's a numbers game.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, war makes people really rich.
Yeah.
Gets a lot. I guess, I don't know, big pharma would be the number one industry, but not far behind. It's got to be the weapons industry.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why are these, if you even get away from why are these wars happening or are they justified, why are they making that much profit off of these wars?
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah.
That bothers me. I get sleepless over that.
It should.
Especially because the United States has just done, World War II, okay, I give you that one, but I certainly don't give you the Korean War over the potential domino theory, which was absurd. The same theory so 4 million people die in Korea, 3.5 million in Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia. They started carpet bombing in Laos, which is everything in a 2-mile radius presumed dead.
Yeah.
What we've done throughout Central, South America, all over the world, we've become masters of war, but like toward what end? To help those rich people get richer.
Yeah.
It's like I would understand if it's a justifiable, you have to stop Hitler, Mussolini, I get it.
Yeah.
But, come on.
It's crazy that it all really boils down to that. It really boils down to a lot of his people profiting,
I always have said that if war weren't so lucrative, there'd be a lot less of it.
Yeah. No doubt.
Sometimes just the war itself, that's a moneymaker.
Yeah, but it's like, how do you fucking do that? What do you got there, fella?
I brought this for you, man.
What is it?
It's a very nice Northern California.
Oh.
I have a dispensary in L.A. Yeah, called The
nice.
Woods. It's phenomenal. It's the most beautiful dispensary
Isn't that crazy?
in the world.
You can have I remember when it was completely, totally illegal, and then you had to have a medical card. And you just say you had a headache. That's all you have to say.
Right.
You got back pain, you got a headache, you can get a prescription rather. And then it became legal. But just in 2016.
But not here.
No, it's
needs
decriminalized.
To be legal in Texas.
It should be. Well, it should be federally.
This could be such a. This state's so great anyway. We could. We could change everything if Texas was legal.
Well, the whole country should be legal.
Yeah.
The idea that America, the land of the free, criminalizes the use of a plant that's never killed anybody is fucking crazy.
It's legislating morality, and it's an odd morality anyway, because most people believe you should be able to smoke if you want.
Not only that, it's a morality that's based off bullshit about profiteering from the 1930s. So
Right.
it's propaganda from the
Right.
1930s that's
Right.
still working today, 90 years later, which is really crazy.
Yeah.
That's the craziest part of it. And that really the only reason why it picked up steam is because they needed to put people to work after they had stopped banning alcohol. So prohibition ended, and everybody's like, what do we do now? Well, let's fucking go after marijuana. And then you get Harry Anslinger, William Randolph Hearst,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're all profiting from it, and they all fucking make the marijuana movies like Reefer Madness, and
Yeah.
everyone's gonna go crazy. And to this day, there's a lot of people who believe that. They think it makes you lazy, it makes you stupid, and
It really is, although I would say my stupid quotient, I've dipped down to a new low. No, but I agree with you. I think that, like Anslinger, nobody knows about that. How this
Yeah.
guy went all over the place and got governments all over the world to
Yep.
make,
Yep.
declare this the enemy drug.
Yeah.
But like I really just believe, there's such a thing as a consensual crime, which is victimless crimes. So
Yeah.
if I'm smoking a joint, well, a lot of it's like the vaccine. If I'm smoking a joint, how does that hurt you?
Right. Well, it hurts you
What
if
am
you-
I doing to hurt you?
if you drive and fall asleep at the wheel and
Well,
slam
that's
into a
one
school
thing,
bus.
of course.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
there's
that
already
makes sense.
laws for that.
Okay, yeah,
There's
well,
already
but
laws
that's
against
another.
that.
Okay,
Yeah.
outside of the driving world, I don't see how I'm
Right.
hurting you. You know,
Right, outside
like,
the driving world, that's really the end of it.
and
Right.
and if I'm not getting my job done, then fire me.
Right.
Okay, so there's
Right.
it just there's no. And by the way, most people do agree with this, but when you have like over 70% of the people in jail are there for victimless crimes,
Yes.
mostly drug-related crimes.
Well, then we go back to another thing, profiteering. Because
Profiteering,
we
once
have
again.
private prisons, which is crazy. Where you're essentially taking human beings and you're using them as batteries to generate money. That's really
Yeah.
what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, the more people you get in there, the more profit you're pulling out of it, which is just crazy. So then you have prison guard unions that are lobbying to keep laws on the books, victimless crimes on the books,
Right.
like marijuana.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I imagine there's a lot of unions pushing those, but I didn't know till I saw the 13th. Is that what it was called? That movie, 13th Amendment. It was about the 13th Amendment. Yeah, I didn't know about the. What's it called? There's a movie. I think it's called the 13th. If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah, he's. Anyway, oh, there it is. Yeah, that's the first time I really thought about it. In spite of being around prisons, much of my life, I'd never thought about the fact that that's just they're making them work. It's just
Yeah.
slave labor.
Exactly. Just making them work.
I'd never thought about it until
Slave labor for insanely small amount of money, and they keep them locked up and they produce things. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you watch that, you believe it for sure.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh,
I'm aware of the
you'd
laws,
like
though.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm aware of that's a lot of where the Jim Crow laws came from. When they abolished slavery, what they did was just arrest people for basically anything and put them to work. I mean, that was
Right.
that was the modus operandi.
Yeah, which is, I guess that's when all that the 13th started, was back then.
Yeah.
As a part of the Jim
Again,
Crow
it all
law.
goes to the same thing, profit. And ironically, a lot of this lack of compassion could be solved with psychedelics. A lot of it, where people expand their consciousness, understand that what they're doing is morally reprehensible, and even though you can sort of justify it because it's legal, it's disgusting. And we should change those laws. Those laws don't make any sense because it's written on paper. Doesn't mean it's just. Doesn't mean it makes sense for
Be nice
logical,
to-
rational people.
I agree. It'd be nice to get some acid in the punch bowl at some kind of congressional,
Well, consensually, I think.
Consensual. I mean, you're not going to get all those guys who need it to agree to it. So I'm just saying, throw a little in the punch bowl. They're all going by the punch bowl.
Do you ever? Do you know who Graham Hancock is? He's an expert on ancient history, like a kind of a renegade historian. He's got a sort of alternative version of ancient society, ancient civilizations. But the point is, like,
he has a podcast?
he's got a 2 seasons of a series called Ancient Apocalypse on Netflix. It's really amazing. It's all his field of study is the evidence that human beings and human civilization has gone through a reset, and that somewhere around 12,000 years ago, and this is all supported by this theory called the Younger Dryas impact theory, where they found evidence that the Earth was bombarded by comets at more than 2 different times in history that probably reset civilization, and that this is probably why you see like ancient structures that people can't explain, and that these stone buildings that have incredibly complex geometry and precision building from thousands
like
and
at the
thousands
World
and thousands
Fair
of years
in
ago.
Chicago, like they had all those buildings.
That's a little different.
You talking about that?
Yeah, no, that's a little different. I'm talking about like ancient Egypt.
You're talking
I'm talking about
super
like
ancient.
Turkey.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like Göbekli Tepe and these ancient structures that they found that are absolutely 11,000 plus years old, where people are supposed to be just hunter and gatherers, and that we had thought up until last 40 or 50 years that society emerged around 6,000 years ago. ago in Mesopotamia. What he believes is that that is a reemergence of society, and that society had already reached a very high level of sophistication around 12,000 years ago, and that something happened, some sort of gigantic cataclysm, and reset things. But Graham is also an enthusiast of ayahuasca and the power of psychedelic medicine, and he has often said that to run governments, it should be mandatory that you have psychedelic sessions, and
Right.
you should probably do it publicly. So you really find out, you know? I mean, imagine getting Lindsey Graham fucked up on mushrooms and then filming him.
I would love to see
It would be
that.
amazing. It would be
What I
amazing.
would give to see that.
Oh, it would be amazing.
But it would be nice if they had a little more, because it's almost, those drugs that you're talking about are just like, it's like the universal, God's little helper.
Yeah.
To help you see how the world really works.
Yeah,
how
God's little helper.
The illusory nature of what it is we're experiencing.
Yeah.
And to come from the heart.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they encourage compassion. And they encourage kindness and love. And that's, we need a lot more of that in this world. And that's the problem with being so politically and ideologically divided. It's like it's so easy because people are so tribal. It's so easy to hate the other tribe. The other people are the enemy, you know? And so we've got this bizarre thing where we're supposed to be a community, but we're a two-sided community. And one side hates the other side. And whoever's in power, those people are the problem. It's like,
Yeah, that is such a weird part of the human, I don't know, nature
Psyche,
or whatever
yeah.
you want to call it, psychology. It's like, and I noticed just the other day, there was some dude, like, I can't remember what the context was, but I remember he kind of came into my zone, and I thought, look at this fucking guy, man. He's such an asshole, you know. You could just tell, you could just feel it, you know.
Right.
And then I thought, why are you? What? You've got nothing that tells you that that's true, you know.
Right.
Other than maybe you're jealous because he's more handsome than you are or something. No, but then anyway, and so I go, how you doing? And he smiles, and I'm like, this guy's incredible. You know,
Yeah.
like, you just, all you need to do sometimes is just generate a smile on that other
Sure.
person who you think's an asshole's face, and suddenly they're a kid, you know. It's suddenly you're in a different, you're using your kid juice to interact. you
well,
know,
that's
at
like the
that point.
importance of charisma, right? Because a person isn't exactly who they are. They're who they are when they interact with you. And however you interact with them will affect the way they interact with you. It's
Right.
not. It's a two-way street. Most
Yeah.
sort of interactions,
If they see a frown on your face, then
Right.
inevitably there's a frown on their face.
inevitably. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But,
just-
but smiles generate smiles, and if you think
Yeah.
about it, that is the easiest energy generating thing is,
Yeah.
another person's smile.
Sure.
And getting you to smile.
And common ground, you know. And I think that's the problem with the media and with political ideologies is that there's no currency in common ground. The currency is all in division. That's where you can gain the most momentum, get the most people on your side. You have to say the other people are the enemy. Common ground is much more common. Most people agree. Most people want to be safe. They want to be healthy. They want to be happy. They want to have friends. They want to have a good time. They want to have a nice family. They want to be loved. They want to have love. That's most people. And they think that the other people are trying to prevent that. Instead of just
Right.
accentuating those important factors and saying we should all concentrate on that, and then we should all look at things that prevent that. What are the things that prevent happiness and love and health? And let's all work collectively together to eliminate those aspects of our society. Yeah. The problem is you don't make a lot of profit doing that. You know,
Yeah.
the profit is in the division.
The media does push the divide for sure.
The media is bullshit. First of all, they're dying. They're dying like AM radio. They're not going to make it. They're not going to make it. The internet is more compelling, and independent journalism is more accurate, and it's going to be more.
Are you
and
sure
more.
that's not a subjective vantage point, Joe?
It's certainly subjective. Yeah, it's certainly subjective.
All your vantage points are subjective.
Yes, everything's
Right.
subjective. It's definitely subjective. But listen, I think there are very good people that work in journalism. I think there are very good people that work at the New York Times, the Washington Post, and even in CNN. I know them. I know people that work at CNN, and I like them. I know people that work at the New York Times, and I like them very much. The problem is the institution, and the institution is based on profit. And where do you get your money? Well, you get a lot of your money from pharmaceutical drug companies, from NGOs. There's funding from all these different political groups, and that's the problem. The problem is enormous entities that need incredible amounts of capital in order to stay relevant. And in doing so, what's crazy is if you're in the information business, well, you can't be accurate. You cannot be accurate about the distribution of information if your profits are based on you pushing a bullshit narrative, because those are the people that are supporting you. So therefore, they're not going to make it. Like, it's like you see the writing on the wall. It's like, this is not tenable. You're not going to be able to continue this. You're going to either have to adjust course or you're going to be swallowed. And that's what people realize that now with the internet. When you got people like Matt Taibbi and Michael Schellenberger and Glenn Greenwald, respected journalists who are now on the outside. And so now they've amassed this huge following on the outside because, you know, if you go to Glenn Greenwald, he's going to tell you what's actually going on. Why are we invading this? Why are we bombing this country? What's going on? And he'll tell you it all goes back to 2013 when this was passed and this is what happened and they tried to do this and this is what we're trying to do because there's oil here or there's minerals there. And like, oh, fuck. And so, but most people don't have the time to do that kind of a deep dive. So you turn on CNN, and CNN says, safe and effective. Have you gotten your ninth booster? Get your ninth booster. And the fucking anchors are blacking out on TV, and it's like, wow. Like, they're in a trap. They're in a trap. First of all, they're in a trap because of the actual format of the show sucks, right? Format of television shows suck. You have 3 talking heads yelling at each other 5 minutes before a commercial. Everyone's trying to get a sound bite that goes viral, and then you cut to a commercial about antidepressants, and then you come back, and there's a flood, and there's fucking Detroit's frozen. Do you see that shit in Detroit? Well, they had a flood and then it froze, and so you got cars like up to the fucking windshield, frozen solid in the streets, and car alarms going off.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it happened yesterday. There was some sort of a water main line broke, probably because of the cold, and then the streets flooded, and then the streets, when they flooded, then they froze, and so all these cars, like literally up to the windshield, stuck. See if you can find it. It's crazy to look at. Like, look at this. Entire streets filled.
Oh my God.
And if you watch a video of it, all the car alarms are going off. So the car alarms are going off, and all the cars are frozen. Give me some. Well, you can hear it if you put your microphone. Yeah, put your headphones up. Listen to this.
Wild, man.
That is some next level shit.
So everybody's fucking car alarms going off because the car's getting crunched. So the cars are getting disturbed, so they're getting crunched. So the cars think that people are breaking into them. Minus 70 degrees. As if Detroit doesn't have enough fucking problems.
Oh my
Poor
God.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, but Detroit's been doing so well lately.
Yeah.
It's really. I went there not long
They're making
ago.
a comeback.
And it was phenomenal.
They're making a comeback.
Wow, what a fun place! Like,
well, you know what?
Artists kind of took
Yes.
it over,
Yes.
and it just became. It's pretty groovy.
Artists and artisans and companies that are like proud, like Shinola. That
Yeah,
company.
that's my buddy, Tom
Oh, you know him?
Cartotis.
Oh,
Yeah.
they're great.
Do you know him?
No, I don't. But
He's
I
one
bought
of the
their
great
stuff.
humans on this planet. Yeah, he started Shinola. He's
Yeah.
Shinola is a great company.
It's a great company. I have
and
one of their
he's
laptop
an
bags.
incredible guy.
They make awesome
Oh.
stuff. They make great watches, great
Yeah.
stuff, but made in Detroit, like proudly.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it's-
And they got
says
the record player that he did with Mike White, Mike, White. No,
Jack White?
Jack White.
Oh.
I knew that wasn't right. I
Yeah.
couldn't. Mike White makes
From the White
White
Stripes.
Lotus. Yeah, no, Jack
Yeah.
White. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they also do vinyl. They make all these vinyl.
Oh, that's cool.
Those guys do cool stuff, man.
Yeah, well,
Shinola, I
last
love
time
it.
I was in Detroit, I did the Fox Theater, and I saw a lot of that too. A lot of like small shops and cool places, and you know, because real
Yeah.
estate's cheap, so people are like moving in, and artists are doing things. And it's fun. It's like a little bit of a revival after they
Yeah.
got fucked by the auto industry.
Well, yeah, for sure.
More profiteering,
For sure.
right? Sent all the
Once
fucking
again.
jobs to other
Yeah.
countries because you can get people to work for slave labor.
Yeah. Well, and then now they're dealing with this incredible ice flood.
Yeah, I think that's
Wow,
a
man.
small isolated area, but still pretty fucked.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, go fig.
Are you still in LA? Where do you
Dude,
live?
I'm in Austin, right here with you.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
are.
come
Where
on.
do you live though? Where do you spend most of your time?
No, I live in Austin.
Oh, do you?
I live in Austin.
I didn't know you lived here.
Yeah, I live in the Drip.
Oh, nice. Dripping Springs is great. I love it out
Yeah.
there. That's
Yeah.
a nice place. That's a nice area.
No, I'm determined. You and I are gonna have to hang out
Let's
sometime
do it.
socially. you
I
know?
would love to do that. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay. Well,
Fuck
you
yeah.
don't feel just like you're back against the wall.
No,
because
I love
we're
you,
on a-
man. Come on. I'll
Oh,
hang out with you
great.
anytime.
Oh, great.
Call me
great.
at 2 o'clock in the morning. We'll go meet you somewhere. I don't give a
Okay,
fuck.
perfect.
I'll break you down to my comedy club.
Oh yeah.
I bought a comedy
Oh
club on
right.
6th Street.
What's
Yeah.
it called?
Comedy Mothership.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
It's fun. It's a great place. My buddy Jimmy Dore is there this weekend, who's also great, and he's filming his comedy special there this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jimmy Dore is amazing. He's another guy that's risen as an independent journalist. He's a comedian, and he started his show basically just making fun of political things, and then during the pandemic got vaccine injured and really got kind of red-pilled and kind of became like the voice of truth and reason. And, you know, another guy who's been completely outcast by supposedly progressive people for just telling the truth, the inconvenient truth.
Inconvenient. But I guess the progressives, are they now the conservatives? We got to change the term because
Yeah.
progressives seem a lot less progressive.
Yeah.
I really felt quite,
think
during
they got
this whole
co-opted.
thing, I felt quite, yeah.
I think they got co-opted, and I think it was on purpose. I think there was some very sophisticated psychological manipulation that was involved, and a lot of money was being spent in order to push some very specific narratives. And they did a great job of it. You know, they did a great job of it, but we're finding out because of the Department of Government Efficiency that most of this was funded by our own tax dollars, which is really fucking crazy. A lot of these NGOs that supported a lot of these crazy riots and all these different things that were happening in our cities was really supported by our own tax dollars. And it was just a subversion of public discourse. You know, instead of allowing people to figure out what's right and what's wrong, they pushed what they wanted you to say, and anybody who deviated from that was canceled. And because of the fact that before Elon bought Twitter, the left had complete total control over the narrative because they owned all the social media sites and they were in lockstep with the government. So it was just a dark time for information, but a few brave people, braved the storm, and one of them was Jimmy.
Oh, that's good. That's a good.
He's great. You would love him.
Shout out to him.
He's great.
Well, I remember when the guy was. Remember that guy? I think they were in London, maybe, but it was the guy who was, I think, directed one portion of Pfizer, and he met with some guy, and he had a body cam. The other guy had a body cam. It was like a date on Tinder or something.
Oh, it was like one of those Project Veritas, James O'Keefe things.
Did you not see it?
I'm sure I did.
But this is the perfect example of how the Trusted News Initiative managed to. A lot of news just never got to people because the guy had a body cam and it's talking to him, and the guy who works for Pfizer is saying they've just had a meeting talking about how they could weaponize these other viruses in order to basically create another pandemic so that they would have the vaccine to address it and make more money, which is not a surprising thing that they would be discussing. But what was great was he admitted it to the guy while they're sitting there at a little diner.
It's always chatty gay guys.
But the main thing, huh?
It's always chatty gay guys. It's always a guy on a date with another guy, and he's like, I'll tell you what we're doing. It's like they just chat it up.
But the incredible thing, like he got, the stuff that he said was incredible.
Yeah.
What was more incredible, he told the guy basically that he'd been filming him. The guy freaks out. Anyway, this should have been across every possible platform of media.
Of course.
And yet you did not see it, zero, in mainstream media. But because Musk had bought Twitter, Musk put it on, and it immediately got 40 million views. And also, what's his name, Tucker Carlson put it on, and then there was a lot of views that way. But other than that, but if you ask your average person, they never heard of this incident.
Yeah.
It's like an amazing thing, talking about, what's the term for that, the weaponization of a virus?
This game is amazing.
Do you know?
Man. Once you get
He's looking it up.
Term for the weaponization of a virus.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, they do it. Well, that's what they think that they were doing in
Wuhan.
China.
100%.
They were weaponizing.
Well, that was why you would get banned off of all these social media platforms if you even brought that up. I mean, it used to be if you brought that up on YouTube, you get pulled from YouTube. Now it's a fact.
Right.
Now it's a fact. Now it's undeniable fact. All the things, like you said about Robert Malone, all the things that he said are now fact. Everything, every single one of them. The fact that it doesn't stay, the injection doesn't stay locally, that it infects various parts of your body in different ways. If it gets to your heart, it's very dangerous because your heart doesn't have the ability to heal, which is why you don't get heart cancer. So your heart just scars over and you get myocarditis. He started talking about all these different effects, and he personally was vaccine injured. So he's a guy who took it, almost had a fucking heart attack, was like, what is going on? His whole body freaked out. He was deadly sick, managed to get through it, then started speaking out against it, then started doing more research and finding out what was going on, and then that was the collective freak out.
Well, it's incredible that so many people were injured, and yet it's still kind of not a widely discussed thing. I think people are discussing it.
More people are discussing it now, but it's still, there's a lot of people that don't want to bring it up because they don't want the heat. They saw what happened to people that did bring it up, and they don't want that coming their way. It's still fresh in their memory, and they keep their mouth shut. Yeah. But over time...
Did you find out what it was called? Weapon? No.
There's a term?
There's a term for it, huh?
A term? I don't know what the term is.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's just, I don't know. It's a crazy time in this world.
Yeah. But crazy times are fun, too. Because people snap out of it. They pop through it, they come out on the other side, and they go, what the fuck was going on? And then you have a re-examining of society. And I think that's happening right now. And I think that's a good thing. As long as people keep their cool and they don't go tribal. You can't go tribal. You can't go us versus them. They're the bad guys.
Right.
The fucking all those people with blue hair, those fucking pieces of shit. No, they're sad, lost people. That's what it is. Sad, lost, angry people that think they have to lash out at the other for the problems that is really caused by gigantic corporations and the exchange of money. And, yeah.
It always comes down. Follow the money. Yeah,
follow
it's just
that fucking
always,
cheese.
every time.
It's always the money.
The cheese.
And it's never enough. It's a weird thing about us. And again, I think part of the problem is this lack of methods to escape. And I don't mean escape reality. I mean to escape the fog of propaganda. And that's literally why all that stuff was made illegal in 1970. Richard Nixon was trying to stop the anti-war effort in the Civil Rights Movement. That's why they turned the sweeping Schedule 1 Prohibition Act of all psychedelic drugs. That's what that was about. It wasn't about protecting society. If it was, they would have got rid of OxyContin. They would have got rid of got rid of addictive painkillers and Vicodin, Percocets. They never got rid of any of that stuff.
They got rid of Big Macs for that matter.
See,
Oh, I know. Listen, I
here's
know
the thing
you're a
about Big
meat
Macs.
guy. You love meat, but can we say Big Macs are not the greatest thing for you?
No, they're not great. They're not great for you. But I feel like you should be able to eat a Big Mac if you want to. I feel
Hey,
like
you should be
have
able to
some
do anything
discipline.
if you want to. I wouldn't care
Yeah.
if you shot up right now.
But that's what I'm saying. Don't get rid of Big Macs, but don't eat them every day, you fucking idiot. It's like I say about Doritos. People are like, oh, we should get Doritos off. No, Doritos as they are a perfect snack. They're delicious, but they're fucking terrible for you. Just like cigarettes, just like whiskey. They're terrible for you.
Right.
But in the moment, they're great. The key is recover and then don't do it every day. That's the key. The key to all things is moderation. All things.
Dude, I wish you'd have given me this speech like when I was 20. You know what I mean? Like, it's some precipice after 21. I
Yeah.
just started. Became immoderate, you know? In fact, I didn't even smoke pot until I was 21.
I didn't smoke
and
pot
I
until I was
didn't drink.
30.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
Well, I thought it
great.
was going to turn you into a loser. I
Yeah.
mean, I bought into all of it. I grew up with a lot of people that had drug problems, and I wanted to succeed in life. And my biggest fear was being a loser. You know, just someone who just never got their shit together. And I was like, well, anything that gets in the way of being successful and being healthy and happy, avoid that.
And now, what point did you say to yourself, I'm definitely not a loser? And there's no chance of me being a loser.
Oh, I don't know if you ever think. I guess I think that now, but I think
Or do you sometimes doubt it and say, I'm a loser?
Well, I definitely think I'm very hypercritical, self-critical. So I battle against that because I think that's something that anybody who strives to be successful battles against. You always feel like you could do more, but there's a balance between doing more and being happy, enjoying yourself, but also accomplishing things you want to do, feeling fulfilled. Having worthwhile goals, things that you think are valuable, not just to you, but valuable to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then do you feel like you must feel
I feel
pretty
like that
good
now.
about it.
Yeah, but I don't think about it, honestly, because I think if you think about it, then you get lost. You get like, look how good I am. You can get really lost in success, where you get intoxicated by that too. So I think you just got to kind of exist. You got to kind of exist and not feed your insecurities, but also don't feed any delusions of grandeur either. Just be a person. Just learn how to be a human being.
That's got to be hard for you, dude, because, you're at the tippy top of the tippy top, and everybody's got to be kissing your ass and telling you how great you are. It's got to be hard to not allow your ego to dictate things,
Yeah, I don't know. I stomp my ego pretty good. I do it with workouts. I do it with martial arts. I do it with cold plunging and saunas. I put myself through voluntary adversity. It's pretty fucking brutal. And that's my best way to achieve like a homeostasis. That's my best way to achieve like a balance. Is that I put myself through way more than life ever gives me. So that I'm always, I get it. You're always vulnerable. You're always weak. You're always late. There's always something. So as long as you confront that all the time, and keep your mind healthy and balanced, have a healthy perspective. There's a lot of like new agey sort of bullshit terms that unfortunately have been co-opted by silly people. But a lot of those they're very important, like gratitude. Gratitude is a really important quality that people should have. Mindfulness is a really important quality that people should have. But these things are co-opted by goofy people that wear wooden beads and want you to join their cult. It's like they want you to think that they're special and they're particularly spiritual. And so unfortunately, really good concepts are often tainted by silly people. Like love and God and a lot of the things that are really
Right.
beneficial to us as a society. They get co-opted by goofy people. Like how many people have been turned off by religion by watching mega pastors in
Right.
these huge churches flying around in private jets and driving in Rolls Royces? Like, oh, well, this is all bullshit.
Yeah. Do you I had a couple of jokes. No.
Go ahead.
Do you think I'm curious. I must have heard you talk about this, but what is your concept of religious? Do you have a specific religion that you adhere to?
Not necessarily. I'm not in favor of any restrictive religions. I'm not in favor of any religions that punish people that don't follow them, and I'm not in favor of any religions that force a very rigid structure on people that has to be adhered to, or you're a sinner or cast out. Or I think that most religious experience. I think most religion is based on human beings' very unique experiences that have provided enlightenment, and they're trying to express that enlightenment to other people. And I think the problem with religious stories are that people are full of shit, and a lot of those stories suck. A lot of those stories are probably distorted by the hand of man. But I think, I'm of the school of thought that a lot of the religious experiences that people talk about were probably inspired by psychedelic experiences. And there's a great book called The Sacred Mushroom and the Cross by John Marco Allegro. Do you know about that book?
I've heard of it, but I never read it. Yeah,
it's a great book, but it's very hard to follow because it's very unless you understand Aramaic, unless you understand the translation of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Like
I'm fluent Aramaic.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah, I got Aramaic. I got obviously French. I had to learn Spanish when I was working construction in Houston, and then I got.
Can you hear him with that microphone? I should push that microphone up.
I got some of the click languages.
Oh, really?
No, I only speak only English. Come on, Jay.
Well, the John Marco Allegro book, he was an ordained minister, but he was one of the people that was assigned to translate the Dead Sea Scrolls, and he did it over the course of, I think it was about 14 years. And then he wrote this book because it was his belief, and he was a very straight-laced scholar. He wasn't a psychedelic enthusiast, but he believed that the entire Christian religion was based on the consumption of psychedelic mushrooms and fertility rituals. And he thinks that a lot of these stories, that their origins come from that. And
Really?
yeah, and he believed that a lot of it was the Amanita muscaria mushroom, which is a very confusing mushroom because a lot of people have a hard time tripping on it. They don't know exactly. And Terence McKenna believed that the problem was that the psychedelic compounds in it varied regionally and genetically, and that they weren't all the same, and that a lot of these people that were having these experiences were not. It really depended upon where you get them from and how you got them and how you treated it, and a lot of that information was lost. And also, like, there's certain religious ceremonies that involved very mysterious things like soma. Soma from the ancient Hindu texts, they don't know what was in there. They don't know what it was. But it seems like it was some sort of a psychedelic compound, whether it was a blue lotus and psilocybin or a combination of many things. Like the Eleusinian mysteries where, in ancient Greece, they believed that was ergot, that ergot was mixed in with the wine. Ergot, which is a very similar experience to LSD.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a great book on that, too, if you've never read it. It's called The Immortality Key by a scholar named Brian Murarescu, who's a brilliant guy who's been on the podcast a couple times. But he's done a lot of, like, really legitimate work on proving that these vessels, these wine containers that they had from these ancient times, they found trace elements of ergot in these wine vessels. And they know that wine back then was not just fermented grapes. They would add a bunch of things to the wine. And so...
party pleasers.
Yeah. So these experiences that people would have, they would go to Ulysses. And I went there when I was in Greece a couple years ago. And it's an amazing place, man. When you're there, like, it feels weird. When you go to the place where they have these psychedelic rituals, like, the place has a bizarre memory that you feel when you're there. Like, because you can literally walk on the grounds where they had these rituals, and you're there, and you're like, whoa, like, this place feels wild. It's just like my kids rather were like, what's wrong? Like, I'm like, I'm fine. I'm just like, I'm weirded out by this place. Like, I feel it. I feel like a bizarre connection with this place. Like, it feels alive. Like, it's like it's humming or something. It was very weird. Very weird. I was touching the rocks and just trying to, like, feel like what's going on here. It's like you got thousands of years ago, these people were just tripping balls and inventing democracy right here at this very spot. It's literally the roots of democracy.
They had to be tripping to think of something so bold as democracy.
Yeah, I mean, it is literally what we were talking about. Like, if you want something that accentuates compassion and this sense of family and brotherhood and sisterhood, that we're all together in this thing, what better than psychedelic drugs?
Yeah.
And that's why they're illegal.
Exactly.
It gets in the way. It gets in the way of this us versus them narrative that is so prevalent in our goofy society that's detached from these sacred compounds.
Yeah, the herb, it really is a unifying thing. I've always, from the first time I tried it, I just felt such bonhomie,
Yeah.
such compassion to everybody around me.
Yeah, it makes you kinder.
Huh?
It makes you kinder.
Makes you kinder.
Yeah,
And
that's why they call it kind bud.
Kind bud.
That's probably why they call it that.
I have a little of the kind. But yeah, no, I like the image of it as just a unifier,
Yeah.
And so that's what makes me wonder, why does Texas not just say, hey, let's open the doors to this? It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
You could have the best cafes in Austin.
I know. Yeah. Well, it's weird because there's certain weed here that's legal. What is it, Delta 9? Is that the legal stuff, or Delta 8?
I know
Which
what
one?
you're talking about.
It's weird. It's weird because
Yeah.
it's like pretty much just weed.
Yeah, I never got into that stuff, though.
It's just a
Yeah.
different version of the plant.
But it doesn't get you high.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll get you some.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like
know
how
what
many
they're doing.
syllables you got out of yeah. Is
I don't know
yeah.
what they're doing. I don't know how they're doing it, but somehow or another they're skirting around the rules and developing something that is
I'll get
basically
over
the
to
same.
the Delta 9 Center.
Yeah, it's basically like weed's twin sister that has different genetics. I don't know. I don't understand it.
No,
But-
I heard they're trying to work out a thing where there's no more of those exceptions here.
Oh, well, that would suck.
The legislature.
That's goofy. I mean, there's plenty of things to concentrate on. Why concentrate on that? It just it's a dumb rule. It's a dumb rule that's mostly mostly enforced by people who don't know what the experience is. They have a distorted idea what the experience is, and they think it's just going to make people losers.
Well, also, it's being mandated from people with different kinds of, desires, and a lot of it financial. But, anything that does, I consider a crime anything I do that hurts you or your property.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's no crime.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. And I think we got to get past that. I think there's just a lot of people that recognize that what they did in the 1970s was very effective. They threw water on the entire psychedelic movement and the civil rights movement and the anti-war movement, and they did it by banning a lot of these compounds that were changing the way people thought about life. And, like the whole peace, love, and hippie movement of the 1960s was all inspired by psychedelic drugs, all of it.
Right.
And it was a revolutionary, complete change of society from 1950 to 1960. I mean, 10 years, the music and culture became almost unrecognizable. It could change so radically. And I think it was terrifying to the powers that be. And unfortunately, the propaganda that they pushed, just like the propaganda that we saw during the COVID times and propaganda that you have whenever there's a war, that propaganda is sticky. That stuff sticks. It sticks around for a long time. And unless you have viable representations of opposing narratives that are really effective, it's very hard for people to change their perspective on things without a personal experience.
Right.
And most of these people that are like, straight-laced, no-nonsense type folks, they don't want to smoke weed. I don't want to ruin my brain. I've heard like legitimate scientists say, I would never want to interfere with the way my brain works. I'm like, okay, do you drink coffee? Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Do you exercise? What do you do? What do you do? Do you eat good food? Well, there's a lot of things that change the way your brain works. This is a dumb way to look.
You really want your doctor looking healthy. You don't want to walk in and see some obese, having heart trouble breathing type of guy.
Yeah.
It's going to give you your advice.
Well, that was one of the most fascinating things about COVID. When I was talking to Dr. Peter Hotez, who's an overweight guy who eats junk food, and he's telling me everybody's got to get vaccinated. I'm like, are you healthy? Like, are you healthy? Because you don't see, do you work out? Like, do you eat well? Do you take vitamins? No. None of those things. But you think that, like, chemicals, that the only way that you're going to get healthy is from a laboratory and an injection. That doesn't seem real. That seems crazy.
Well, the whole notion is to bolster your immune system's response to this specific item, right? But so if your immune system's strong,
right,
you really have nothing to fear.
Well,
if your immune system's weak, you have also a lot to fear by taking a vaccine that can, with this recent one, it actually hurts the immune system. It harms the immune system.
Especially with repeated
doses. At least old
doses.
people should get vaccinated. Should old people get vaccinated? I don't think so.
The problem was also any sort. This is Dr. Birx is now admitting this when she's being questioned. Is that they stopped any early treatments that weren't the vaccine, and that they probably shouldn't have done that, and that a lot of people could have been saved because of that. And that's true. And then that's something that people need to. That's one of the best aspects of Bobby Kennedy's book, The Real Anthony Fauci, is understand what pressures were put on these organizations to stifle and completely stop the prescription use of a bunch of different things, hydroxychloroquine, ivermectin, also like the studies that were done on vitamin D deficiencies and how that impacted immune systems, and just sunlight, exercise, diet. All those things play a critical factor in how well your immune system functions. And the idea that the only way your immune system functions at its peak is you got to stick a fucking metal pin filled with a solution that gets plunged into your tissue. That's the only way. It's the only way, Woody.
Yeah.
You gotta shove a fucking needle in your arm. Like, what?
But you make a great point, because it's like, why didn't we hear from America's Dr. Fauci or the other representatives from the medical industry? Maybe eat less, sugar.
Yeah.
Maybe eat less fast food. Maybe exercise. There was no other directive.
No.
Take the vaccine.
No,
That's the only
They
directive.
didn't want to fat shame, so they never told anybody to lose weight, which is one of the major comorbidities that affected people negatively.
Yeah. Bill Maher was onto that really early. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's weird times. But again, I have hope.
Yeah, me
really
too,
do.
man. In spite of everything, I have hope.
Well,
because I believe in people generally.
I do too.
There's people who in California and New York, they look at Texas as like, this lost state. You know what I mean? Greatest people in the world.
Yeah.
Greatest, kindest, nicest people.
Yeah.
But you may not want to talk about certain subjects. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just avoid those subjects. You get along.
And even the subjects that you're supposed to avoid, why? Why are we avoiding them?
Well, I agree. I'd like to talk about any subject.
Yeah.
I like a little healthy,
Yeah.
debate.
Also, I want to know why you think the way you think. If you think totally different than me, I want to sit down with you. And I want to give you all the room in the world to say what you think. I want to know how you came to those conclusions. I want to know what your childhood was like. I want to know what experiences have you had that led you to have these concrete evaluations of the way society is that are so different than mine.
That's a great compassionate vantage point. That's what we really lacked.
Yeah, we need that.
recently,
You need to sit down with people that you don't agree with and find out. And oftentimes they fall apart. That's just the fascinating thing. You have enough room, you just keep talking to them, they fall apart. You know, one of the weirdest conversations I had on this podcast was talking to Dr. Sanjay Gupta from CNN. They sent him over here to fucking straighten me out. And, you know, by the end of it, it was a very bizarre conversation. By the end of it, he was essentially agreeing with me.
I had heard that he didn't think you should necessarily vaccinate. I thought he was a little more progressive on that.
He's
Or,
smart,
you know.
but he's also working for CNN, and, you know,
Right,
he's also a neurosurgeon. So he's, you know,
Yeah.
he's a bright guy. He's just, like, captured by the system. And that's part of the problem. But there was a lot of things that didn't make any sense. Like one of the ones where he wanted me to get vaccinated after I'd recovered from COVID.
Yeah,
I'm like, dude, I had COVID.
shouldn't that be the reason
Yeah.
I'm already vaccinated, basically?
Yeah. Well, I'd recovered from COVID in 3 days. It wasn't hard at all. And that's when I got hit. That's when everybody came after me. It was because I was a bad example, because I was healthy. And I was giving people bad information by telling them all the things that I took to get better, which is really weird. And then they focused on this one thing, which was ivermectin. I read a laundry list of stuff that I took. IV vitamins, NAD, ivermectin, monoclonal antibodies. I talked about all the different stuff that my doctor put me on, and I was better in 3 days. And then what did CNN do? They turned my face yellow. They put a filter on the video to make me look sick. And they started talking about me taking horse paste, which is crazy. They said I was taking a veterinary medicine.
Yeah, the ivermectin?
Yeah.
They're suddenly calling it that in spite of it treating, you know, millions of humans
Millions.
effectively.
Billions of prescriptions have been filled. Billions.
Yeah.
Billions of times human beings have taken ivermectin.
They have the guy who invented it in the statue at the WHO. I mean, that's why, because he invented ivermectin.
Yeah.
And
He won the Nobel Prize.
that was an interesting thing, how they made these other drugs, you know, negative.
Yeah.
What was it?
Hydroxychloroquine.
Hydroxychloroquine
There was another
and ivermectin, which some legitimate doctors found to be effective. You know,
Well, it's a
suddenly you
treatment for
can't even
malaria.
bring it up, and then you couldn't even get it.
Yeah.
Like suddenly they made it ungettable.
Yeah, well, you couldn't get it from Walgreens. They wouldn't prescribe it for you unless you
Yeah.
had like some sort of a
Malaria or something.
yeah, you'd have to have or some sort of a parasite. That's why, you know, they said it was a dewormer because it was anti-parasitic. But when I said it to Sanjay Gupta, I go, but yes, but it's also been shown to stop viral replication in vitro. And I said, you know that, right? And you can see this look on his face like, oh shit. Because that's a fact. Like, they've studied viral replication. You use ivermectin in petri dishes, it stops viral replication. It's a fact. Like that, there's studies on this. Like, it's also, it's like one of the most safe drugs known to man. It's like the safety profile is incredible. And this idea that like Rolling Stones printing articles that people are having overdoses from ivermectin and people can't get into the emergency room because of gunshot wounds. They even showed a photograph of a bunch of people outside of an emergency room wearing winter coats in August, because it was a photograph of people waiting in line to get a flu shot. It was a bullshit photograph that fucking Rolling Stone published. Like, this is so wild to watch, because it's not just propaganda, it's really shitty propaganda.
Right.
Because there's not much truthful they can say that would go against this stuff. So they have to just say it's horse dewormer, you're a fool, you're taking horse dewormer. But what they didn't understand is, at the time, they didn't understand the media landscape. They thought they were still huge. But they didn't understand, like, an average video on my show was like 10 times bigger than their show. It's just, we weren't talking about it. We weren't saying it. So they still thought they were CNN. They were going to crush this rebellion against this one specific thing that you had to do, which was get vaccinated.
Right.
It was just fucking, remember when Biden was on television, he was talking about the hurricane was coming? The most important thing when the hurricane's coming is get vaccinated. Everything's harder if you're not vaccinated.
Yeah, well, all that money they gave those guys.
They gave them a lot of money.
They had to do something. A little payback.
It's wild, though. It's going to affect their
Yeah.
ability to make money in the future, that's for sure. Especially CNN.
Yeah.
They all
Well,
take a hit.
Honestly, I won't miss these other organizations anymore.
I watch them every now and then.
They lost my my confidence.
Yeah. Yours and most people's.
Yeah.
I think that's good. You know, I do. I think that's just, it's healthy. That's the human mental immune system, weeding out pathogens.
Yeah, right. That's true. The media you take in can certainly be a pathogen.
Yeah,
for sure.
man, it is. But again, there's a lot of cool shit out there. You know, it's like you can concentrate on that, or you can concentrate on how much cool music there is now, how much great comedy there is now, how many great movies there are now. There's plenty of things to concentrate on. It's like, there's just, the problem is there's a lot of people, their business is division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that song? Politics and religion causing more division. But it's really government and media causing
It's really
more
money.
division.
It's really money. If there was no money in politics, and there was no money in pharmaceutical drugs, and there's no money in war, we'd live in a much better place.
Oh, your lips to God's ears on that.
Yeah. It's just, we have to move closer to that somehow or another. Wow. And whether Bobby Kennedy can help us along those lines, and all these other people that are trying very hard to stomp out a lot of this bullshit that we've been experiencing for so long. Hopefully.
Yeah. I mean, Bobby, I really hope he's able to do some good things because he's certainly a man on a mission and a man who cares deeply.
Yeah.
And I think really heroic how much he stood up for things that he didn't need to talk about, you know, that didn't help him in any way. You know,
Right.
He just took one arrow after the other over it. You know, to me, even if he was wrong, which I don't think he was, then it's heroic to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, and he wasn't wrong. The thing is like I was a victim of that propaganda, and I told him that when I met him and I had him on the show. I said I always thought you were a kook. I had always heard, I bought into it. I just had this sort of cursory examination of what people were saying about you, like, oh, that guy doesn't believe in vaccines. He's a nut. He's some sort of an anti-science nut who's just a conspiracy theorist. He's just like all these other nutty people.
Right.
And then I read his book, and I was like, okay, well, this book is real. Why is he getting sued? If it's not real, why is he getting sued? Why if all these things he's saying about Anthony Fauci during the AIDS crisis, if that's not true, why is he not getting sued? I would sue the fuck out of him if he lied about me and said I was vaccinating foster kids with experimental drugs that were killing them. I would sue you if that was not true. Like, hey, you fucking liar, I never did that. This is a lie. You can't prove, but it's not a lie. And
if it was a lie, he'd get sued. If it being truth, they just ignored it.
Yeah,
But man, that is a heavy tome.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there's some info in there just blew my mind. You know, like the way Fauci was able to get these principal investigators from like all these respectable colleges and put them on these committees that ended up saying, yeah, this is the vaccine we'll use. This is we'll use AZT. He started with the AZT thing.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, AZT was known to be a highly toxic, really ineffective drug.
Yeah.
And of course, but that was the one they picked. And so they started using that again. And I don't know how many people that killed. That killed friends of mine, you know. AZT was very toxic and they finally had to yank it.
Yeah.
And now they use different chemical cocktails. But like Fauci did some extraordinarily evil shit. And
he
knows what he did.
He was the villain of the Dallas Buyers Club, that movie. That was about people trying to seek alternative treatments to deal with AIDS.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's Fauci.
Right.
That's AZT.
Yeah.
Magic Johnson got on AZT and it was killing him, and he got off of it.
Yeah. And he's still alive.
And he's still alive. Yeah. It's a bummer. It's just a bummer that someone had that kind of power for so long. It was such a fucking monster.
Yeah. Did you see that little meme that went around? It was right after he got first time anyone ever got pre-pardoned.
Yeah.
And you said nothing says trust science like a blanket pre-pardon.
Yeah.
A picture of Fauci.
Well, the problem with that pre-pardon is he's pre-pardoned federally, but he's not pre-pardoned state-wise. These states can still sue him. Not only that, when you're pardoned, then you can no longer plead the fifth. So you could be held for perjury. So there's a lot of issues with being pardoned that I don't think Biden took into consideration or Fauci took into consideration either. I think he just wanted anything to protect him because he knew it was coming. He knew that just the emails that were available that showed collusion where he had gotten a hold of all these different researchers and changed their perspective on whether or not it was a lab leak, because through Eco Health Alliance they had funded gain-of-function research after Obama.
Gain-of-function.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to think. Okay, go ahead.
But gain-of-function is essentially taking a virus and making it more infectious to human beings.
Weaponizing the virus.
Yeah. The idea is supposedly to study it, but if you're studying it and you don't have a fucking cure, you've been studying this shit for so long and you don't have a cure, like what are you actually doing? Well, you're doing weapons research. You know, this is one of the things that Bobby's talked about with Lyme disease, you know, where they tried to get him on Lyme disease. It was just a very funny grilling. They say, did you say that Lyme disease was a leaked bioweapon? He goes, I probably did. And he did. Plum Island, they were fucking researching whether or not they could infect bugs, fleas, and ticks, and then dump them on populations to overwhelm their medical system and to use it as a bioweapon so we could invade easier. Yeah, they did that.
We're the masters of war.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a funny way. Good impersonation, by the way.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Poor Bobby. I mean, if really science wanted to come fix his fucking voice, man. If that guy had his old voice, he'd be a lot more powerful. It's like people dismiss him because his voice is hard. It's hard to listen to sometimes.
Yeah, that condition he has, you would think there'd be some way to address it, but I don't know.
Well, he believes that condition came from the flu vaccine. It's a side effect of flu vaccines. He used to take a flu vaccine every year. And so he developed this voice problem. And he believes it's a vaccine injury, which is very ironic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Those fucking things don't work either. Those things, and he's talked about that. Like, even if it protects you from that one flu, it makes you many more times more likely to catch other things. We're fucking around with complex systems inside human bodies with pharmaceutical drugs that have been, the way they've studied them is filled with shenanigans. They might do 10 studies and one of them shows effectiveness because they've rigged the study in a certain way. And then he explained to me that the reason why they could say it's 100% effective was because one person got it in the vaccine trial and 2 people got it in the placebo. So
yeah.
that's 100%.
100% better.
You know, yeah. 1 is 100% better than 2. Like, what? That's correct. No, that's not. 100% means nobody gets infected, you fucking assholes. That should be a law. That should be a crime to explain things like that. I had this guy on who was, he litigated against pharmaceutical drug companies, particularly against Vioxx, when they released this anti-inflammatory medication Vioxx, and some 50 to 60,000 people died from it. A friend of mine got a stroke from Vioxx. This guy was saying that when you hear peer-reviewed studies, when they do a vaccine study, or a pharmaceutical drug study, they don't even give the peer reviewers the raw data. They give the peer reviewers the data as it's been interpreted by the scientists who work for the pharmaceutical drug companies. So they review it, and then they give their version of it to these other scientists who are already on the payroll. They're all NIH funded, everybody's together, everybody's all in the loop, everybody's dependent upon whether or not they're going to receive grants and funding. It's all based on Fauci, and that's how you find out whether or not something is good or bad. It's all rigged. And when he was explaining, I'm like, that can't be real. And he's explaining to us, showing us how it works. And it's corrupt. It's fully, completely, totally corrupt. And if anything Bobby can do, it's make sure that we have valid studies, valid, real, peer-reviewed studies on everything that people are supposed to be taking. Let's find out what the fuck is really good for you, because it's not like all pharmaceutical drugs are bad. A lot of pharmaceutical drugs have helped people, saved people's lives, enhanced people's lives, cured diseases. There's a lot of stuff that's great. Let's find out what it is, what's real and what's bad, and why are you profiting off of shit that's killing people? That shouldn't be so hard, would he?
I'd vote for you, dude.
Oh, I don't want to run for nothing.
No, I know it'd be a step down. Why would you? Yeah.
No.
Just headache in your life. But I'm just saying, I would vote for you.
Thanks, that's terrifying. Yeah.
You want to have those days where you just have a lie-in. You know what I mean? Not getting up till maybe noon. And you can't have that if you were president.
No.
You don't get one day like that.
No, unless you're Biden. I think he slept a lot. He was really the president.
That's maybe.
Yeah, that's what's really wild. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm encouraged. And I also think things are going to get really weird with AI. I think with AI, and especially when AI gets attached to quantum computing, we're going to have an undeniable access to truth that's going to be very disconcerting to a lot of people. We're going to have an understanding of the reality of the world that we live in that's going to be very undeniable. And it's going to be strange. And unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of propaganda that's with that too, because a lot of this AI is programmed by people. So there'll be a battle of which AI is the most trusted and effective. And then the real fear is that AI governs us, which is probably going to happen. We're probably going to
Couldn't do any
more
worse.
effective.
No. The government so far has really been subpar.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't look at individual presidents, because I just look at, like, overall, the presidents have to bow down and kiss the ring, no matter who it is. So you're not getting in there.
Right.
So, the last guy who didn't was probably John Kennedy.
Yeah.
But certainly even a guy like Carter, who I love, I consider the best, Everybody has to kiss the ring. So
he didn't kiss it enough. That's why they got rid of him.
Well, what he did, he levied a windfall profits tax on the oil companies because they were gouging. They were making so much profit, right?
Yeah.
Which happens all the time, whether it be the oil companies or what, or the vaccine companies, whatever. These insane, profits that are just, they create some fear and then boom, they make a lot of money. And so, but he was bold enough to lay this tax on them for their profit, and that's what killed him. There was no way he was getting another term after that.
Yeah.
And that's why, and then it was after that Oliver North was vital in helping to kill that rescue attempt with the helicopter.
Uh-huh.
And
also the Contras versus the Sandinistas, where they're selling crack in Los Angeles in order to fund all that shit. All that stuff was going on at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally believe that.
Oh, it's a fact. Absolutely. I had Freeway Ricky Ross, the guy who went to jail for it, on the podcast a few times.
Oh, was he the guy, the plane? He had the planes and he was flying?
No, that was Gary Webb. That was Gary Webb. The guy was flying into
Gary
Arkansas.
Webb, right.
Yeah.
Gary.
Oh, no, Barry Seal. Gary Webb was the reporter who committed suicide. Didn't he shoot himself in the head twice? Yeah. That's right. Barry Seals.
Thank you,
Jamie.
First one would have slowed down the second bullet a little.
Yeah, a little bit.
Right.
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah. He was one of the main whistleblowers about that. Yeah. There's it's a sordid, horrible history. But Freeway Ricky Ross was, unbeknownst to him, was selling cocaine, funding this war, and he didn't even know what was going on until he went to jail. He couldn't read. Went to jail, became literate, and then became a lawyer in jail, and then figured out that they tried him on the 3 strikes rule incorrectly, got out of jail. And now he runs weed dispensaries in California.
Really?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Where does he live?
He lives in L.A., yeah.
Oh,
he's a great guy.
You got to connect me to him. I want to meet him.
Rick Ross, the rapper? He stole his name from Freeway Rick Ross.
Oh.
Rick Ross was a famous, street gangster. This famous street coke dealer who was making millions of dollars a week. and couldn't read. He was a tennis player, a really good tennis player, who then used the discipline of being a tennis player to become a very disciplined drug dealer.
Ah.
Yeah. Just,
Like Pfizer, disciplined drug dealer.
yeah, and now he's out. And a wonderful guy to talk to. Fun guy, like very happy, peaceful guy. And I mean, what a story. Learned how to read in jail and then realized that they fucked him and then tried his own case and got out.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah. My daughter is a lawyer. She's a public defender in Manhattan. She loves it.
Oh, wow, that's
Yeah.
cool.
And so she's helping a lot of people who are at a kind of a pivotal point in their lives where it could just be,
Yeah.
you know, and they can't get her unless they have no money. You know what I
Right,
mean? So
right.
like, they're already in dire straits, and she loves helping people.
That's
man.
beautiful.
She's an incredible kid. I'm so proud of her.
That's amazing. That's
Yeah.
that's a beautiful way to live your life.
And I'm like, you're gonna be a lawyer, and then it's like, oh, a lawyer that makes no money. Bravo, bravo.
Isn't it crazy? Like, we all think, like, you know, lawyers are all evil. No, there's great lawyers. My good friend Josh Dubin, he used to work for the Innocent Project. Now he works with Ike Perlmutter, and we had a bunch of podcasts where we've highlighted innocent people who were incarcerated. And just through this podcast, we've got a bunch of people released.
Dude, that's doing something great.
Yeah, I mean, he's amazing. He's like completely dedicated his life to wrongly incarcerated people.
What's his name?
Josh Dubin,
Where's he live?
Florida. He was a New York guy. Moved to Florida fairly recently.
Wow.
Yeah, great guy. Love him to death. And does nothing but great work, just helping people. Just constantly concentrating on all these different cases where it's like, you know, corrupt DAs, corrupt prosecutors, corrupt judges. It's like, you know, it's all over the place. Like, one of the guys that Biden pardoned was one of the people that was involved in that Kids for Cash, where they were putting kids in detention centers just for profit.
Oh.
Yeah, you know that story, right?
I don't
There was
know.
a judge, was it Pennsylvania? Yeah, there was a judge in Pennsylvania that was making millions of dollars through putting kids in detention centers and ruining kids' lives, causing suicides, deaths, downward spiral of their life, like wrongfully detaining them and
But how
doing
is
it for
he
profit.
How is he getting a kickback?
He's getting kickbacks from private prisons.
Oh, from private prison?
Yeah, from private prisons, from prosecutors, I mean, I don't know exactly who was funding it, but he was convicted, and he's one of the guys Biden pardoned.
Oh, really? Huh? It's sick.
Yeah, Biden pardoned like 8,000 people.
Did he?
Yeah, he pardoned more people than anybody, which generally I'm a fan of pardoning people. I think most people are incarcerated for far too long. I don't think it rehabilitates people. I think it probably makes them more hardened criminals in most of the cases. There's a few cases where people decide to take a better path in jail and educate themselves and learn and come out a better person. And I've met a lot of those people. And unfortunately, I've met a lot of those people from Josh Dubin that were wrongly incarcerated and then came out these amazing, incredibly intelligent, really well-read, interesting people because they dedicated themselves to doing that while they were in jail. Because they realized, like, I did not commit this crime. I'm forced into this situation. What can I do to make better of my life while I'm here? Well, I'm going to educate myself, and I'm going to come out a better person.
That's great. By the way, I wouldn't mind a pre-pardon. Just, you do whatever you want. You're speeding,
Pre-pardons are
whatever.
great.
I got a pre-pardon, dude.
There's a lot of people that got pre-pardons. They're
Yeah.
like, how did Adam Schiff get a pre-pardon? Why is Liz Cheney get a pre-pardon? Like, what did you do? What did you do that you need a
But
pardon?
also, that's never happened before. There's never
Never.
been a pre-pardon. I
No.
mean, how can you pardon someone if they haven't been convicted of something?
Well, there's a lot of debate on the constitutionality of it too, like whether or not
Yeah.
that's even what the pardons were intended for. And that was the thing during the 2020 like when Trump was leaving the office. You know, there was talk about what if he pre-pardons his family? That would be outrageous, and all the Democrats were against it. And then, of course, when Biden did it, everybody just shut up. He
Yeah.
pre-pardoned his son from 2014 or something, 11. Oh, what a good guy.
Yeah, that was necessary.
Yeah.
That was a pre-pardon? Seemed like a post-pardon at that point.
He was about to be charged and he was never.
What was Gerald Ford going to be charged? Or
no,
so Nixon.
Watergate scandal.
But,
Watergate. Yeah. That's another one. The Watergate one's a weird one too, because the lead guy was an intelligence agent who was all of a sudden a reporter.
George W. Bush gave some to the Iran-Contra affair people.
Oh,
They
what
were
a good
talking
guy. Casper Weinberger. There you go.
about Lincoln's Civil War.
Abraham Lincoln did. During the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln preempted pardons, part of the broader strategy to maintain national unity. Oh, okay. Extended to Confederate sympathizers and soldiers. Okay. As an incentive to lay down arms and support the Union.
Jimmy Carter for the Vietnam draft?
Yes. Well,
Whoa.
that was a good one.
There's a few, but not like the same reasons.
I remember I was a kid. I was living in San Francisco when the Vietnam War ended. My parents were hippies. We were living in like Haight-Ashbury, like the like down near Lombard Street, in the middle of like hippie San Francisco. And I remember thinking, whew, as a little kid, thinking, wow, finally the war's over. I don't have to think about war anymore. I'm like, people are gonna learn from this. I really believed that. You know.
You are, because you're a hopeful person.
Also, I was 10
yeah.
or whatever I was.
Most 10-year-olds, I guess, are pretty hopeful. But
Yeah. Well, you're terrified because I had thought of the idea of being drafted. Like, in 8 years from now, can I be drafted and have to go and fight for some fucking insane war that makes no sense? And if you don't, they put you in a cage. Like, that was the reality of life in the 1960s when they had conscription.
Yeah.
That's scary shit, man. You know, being forced to give up your life to go fight in some fucking insane war that makes sense. It's probably about heroin. Probably had a lot to do with heroin trade.
Well, yeah, they say that bombing in Laos was a lot of that on the Ho Chi Minh Trail. A lot of that had to do with that avenue for heroin there.
Yeah.
On that Ho Chi Minh Trail.
Well, how about Afghanistan?
Yeah, Afghanistan. Yeah, that can't be a coincidence. Poppies there and poppies there.
Not only that, we were guarding poppy fields. We were, because we needed, these farmers need to grow poppies. Is like, this is how they make a living. We got to help them. We got to fight the Taliban. And then, you know, it's 90+% of the world's opium is coming from this area. Like, what?
90%?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think it's
realize that's
94. I think it was 94% of the world's heroin was coming from Afghanistan while we were occupying Afghanistan.
Really?
Oh,
And
yeah.
Now where's it coming from?
Probably Afghanistan still.
No, it's safe. Secure.
I mean, the Taliban were the people that were against it, which is wild. 2021, Afghanistan produced more than 90% of the world's illicit heroin. However, Myanmar has since surpassed Afghanistan. Well, didn't Myanmar just have a giant coup? Didn't they have a military takeover of Myanmar? I think they did. I'm pretty sure because, yeah,
Yeah,
Burma.
maybe it's follow the drugs instead of follow the money.
Yeah.
Same thing, maybe.
yeah. Myanmar coup, just write coup. Yeah, 4 years after the coup. Atrocity crimes. Yeah.
Ah.
4 years after the coup, chaos reigns as Myanmar's military struggles. Yeah, they were probably taking control. I mean, if you've got a place where now they've taken over the heroin production of the world, and all of a sudden you have a military coup, shocking,
Right.
crazy.
It does seem to follow along
Yeah.
these routes.
Yeah. It's too many things to concentrate on. That's the problem. And we're all getting inundated every day with terrible news from all over the world. And on one side, it makes people more accountable because now you know all the terrible things that are going on all over the world. But another thing, it's like it's unmanageable. If you're one human being living in Austin, your phone is blowing up all day with atrocities that are happening all over the world. You're like, what can I do? What is life? Everything's terrible. Meanwhile, you go to the coffee shop, everybody's nice. You go to the restaurant, say hi to. It's like my world seems pretty fucking normal. But but when you're inundated constantly, so you're in this constant state of anxiety and weirdness and.
I know it's not a good thing, but I think that's why I stay away from the media. I don't read newspapers. I don't, I just try to stay away because it's that toxifying element. It can really, and granted, it keeps me ignorant.
Yeah.
But they do say ignorance is bliss, and I feel pretty blissful. So, I mean.
Well, as long as somebody's paying attention, I guess it's okay.
Well, I mean, about some of these items we've been discussing, I've actually, studied this. So there's things but there's other things that I just can't get hit every day with like 90 things that are so depressing,
Do you go on social media at all?
No. I do have, what's the Zuckerberg?
Instagram?
Instagram. But because, they make you like you have to give us all your information and access to your picture. So I can't personally get on the Instagram. But if I have a picture, I have to get someone else to post the picture.
Yeah.
So
that's probably healthier.
Yeah. Huh?
That's probably healthier
Yeah.
than being on it all the time. Because I know a lot of people that are on it all the time, and it makes them sick. It's like radiation poisoning.
Yeah. I'm pretty much never on it.
That's good.
But I should post more. I post like once every 6 months or something. But no, I don't know. I'd rather have an alt to Instagram.
So how do you
what
find
do you
out
think
about
of a good alt?
an alt? I don't know. The problem is, well, X is what I use the most as far as like getting information, but every now and then I'll go on and watch people argue and see like these toxic fights back and forth, and that puts me in a shitty mood. I'm like, God damn, why do people fucking treat each other like this? Like, it's like such a stupid way to communicate.
Yeah. That is, it's so disheartening.
And it's also, it amplifies the worst aspects of our society, which is like shitty division. It's like shitty division is what gets a lot of clicks. Partisan thoughts and attacking people, tribal thinking. That's what gets the most clicks, and that's what you see the most. But there's enough of exposing of actual legitimate corruption and information about what's actually going on in the world that I get out of there that it balances it out for me to the point where I'm willing to engage in it to a certain extent. But I don't do it at night, and I don't do it when I think it's going to like fuck me up before I go to bed. I don't do it if there's anything I really have to concentrate on, because I don't want some new pathway to open up my mind where now I'm concerned about this.
Right, yeah. But all of that adversity you faced, do you feel like it actually increased your popularity?
Yeah, it definitely did. Oh. Yeah, like during the COVID stuff when they were trying to get me removed from Spotify, in that 1 month I gained 2 million subscribers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the height of the attacks on me, the show got way bigger. Yeah.
Right. So how many people listen to that Robert Malone show, would you say?
That's a good question. Between Spotify, YouTube, and all the clips, fucking, who knows, hundreds of millions probably.
Oh, great.
Yeah, a good show that gets spread around, like how many different eyeballs will see it. I mean, it really depends on how profound the person's revelations are, like what they're talking about. Like, like the biggest one we ever did. Well, some of the Elon. Well, I think the biggest one we probably ever did was Bob Lazar. Is that number one? So the Bob Lazar one. You know who Bob Lazar is? Bob Lazar is the guy that in 1989, he did an interview with George Knapp in Las Vegas, and he said he was working back engineering UFOs for the government. And he has this crazy fucking story about working at Area S4, Site 4, and Area 51 in the Nevada desert, which at that point in time, the government would deny that Area 51 even existed. And he's like, no, I work out there, and I was working back engineering propulsion systems from crashed UFOs. And he's explaining how these things work and explaining how it's in some sort of a gravity propulsion device that works completely different than any propulsion device that we've ever devised, and that they're trying to back engineer them. They don't know how to do it, so they keep bringing in new propulsion experts. So he was a guy that had previously worked at Los Alamos Labs, and then he gets a job, and they're essentially throwing as much shit against the wall as possible, trying to see what sticks. Like, can you figure this out? And they're bringing in new people. And he was brought in apparently allegedly after an accident where they tried to cut into the reactor and it exploded and people died. And so they said, okay, well, that's not going to work. Let's try another method, bring in some other people. And he was one of the people they brought in. And when you have top secret clearance, what happens is they tap all your phones. They listen to you all the time. Well, he had this job where he couldn't tell his wife what he was doing. So he would get this phone call saying that he has to fly out to Area 51 at like 11 p.m. So he would go to the airport, fly out, and his wife was like, this motherfucker's cheating on me. So she starts fucking her flight instructor. She's got some flight instructor. So because his wife was having an affair and they knew it from the phone calls, they thought that he was going to be emotionally unstable. So they removed him from the project. So he gets removed from the project and he says, well, I'm telling my friends. So he goes to tell his friends, like, this is what I was doing. I was working on these fucking UFOs. They have actual UFO. That's the one. That thing on the desk right there, that's the recreation of what he called the sport model that they worked on that has this flying saucer that's behind the antlers.
That's like the 3.
classic.
It's
Classic
like the Tesla 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
If you were to,
Yeah, the classic.
The peppy little
The sport model.
Got it.
So he brings people out to watch. He said on Wednesday they have these flights and they test these things. I'll take you guys out to the desert. He took them out to the desert. He takes them a couple of times, then he gets arrested. So he gets arrested and he says, they're gonna fucking kill me. I have to go public. So he goes public and tells the whole story. And so he does these series of interviews with George Knapp, who's an investigative reporter in Las Vegas, and they become legendary. He's told the same story for now going on 40 years. And it's an insane
he's
story.
still alive.
He's still alive. Yeah, he did my podcast. So he did the podcast, and I don't know what to think. I don't know if he's telling the truth or not. It's hard to know, but he's told the same goddamn story for all these years, and he's obviously a brilliant guy. When you talk to him, he's obviously very literate in science, really understands what he's saying. And many of the things that he said from that particular interview have been corroborated by other people, including his knowledge of Los Alamos Labs. They tried to say he never worked there, but they found him on the employee roster, and he knows the building. He took people into the building. He took George Knapp in there. He knew the security guards. He knew where to go, showing everybody around the place. And that's our biggest podcast ever because it's so fucking nuts. There's an incredible, Jeremy Corbell did an incredible documentary called Bob Lazar, Area 51 and Flying Saucers. And it's all about his experiences there. And it's one of those things where you just, you don't know. But it's so weird. It's like if this guy's telling the same goddamn story, and then they have all these videos of these things that the Go Fast video and the FLIR video that the government's released that were covered in the New York Times. And these crafts are exhibiting the same sort of behavior that he was explaining in 1989. Yeah. Particularly, and they fly like this, but then when they want to go fast, they rotate sideways and point whatever this gravity propulsion, whatever this thing is, this generator, and they shoot this way, shoo, and take off. And there's videos of these things doing this.
Wow.
40 years later.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So that's the biggest video. So that video on YouTube got 60 million views, and then on all the other platforms, who knows how many, and all the clips, it's probably hundreds of millions. Yeah.
Bizarre.
But it's one of those things where you don't want to think too much about it because it might be bullshit. You know, that's how I feel about the whole UFO thing.
But what would be his point? What's his motivation? Like,
it's a good question.
I don't see how it benefits him other than he's got now people calling him a wacko. Which he didn't have before. So what's the good of it?
Right. That's a good.
You always got to look at possible motivation.
Well, there's a lot of people that want to pretend to be special. So they make up stories so that make them special. They make up encounters. They make up abductions. I've been abducted by aliens. I'm a special person. They took me aboard. I have a message for humanity. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of delusions.
Right. That's a different thing.
Right.
I mean, a guy like that, I don't see his, if that's what he actually did for a living, then I don't see why he would do that. Benefits.
Well, one of the more interesting stories is this guy's. This is Travis Walton. This guy's got a little bobblehead. Travis Walton was a guy, I don't know if you ever saw that movie Fire in the Sky. It was based on a bunch of loggers in Arizona, and they saw this thing land, and this guy, Travis Walton, about it because it might be bullshit. You know? That's how I feel about the whole UFO thing.
But what would be his point? What's his motivation? Like,
it's a good question.
I don't see how it benefits him, other than he's got now people calling him a wacko. Which he didn't have before. So
Right.
what's the good of it?
Right. That's a good.
You
Well,
know? You always got to look at possible motivation.
Well, there's a lot of people that want to pretend to be special, so they make up stories so that make them special. They make up encounters. They make up abductions. I've been abducted by aliens. Hey, I'm a special person. They took me aboard. I have a message for humanity. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of delusions.
That's a different thing.
Right.
I mean, a guy like that, I don't see his, if that's what he actually did for a living, then I don't see why
He would
how
do
he
that.
benefits.
Well, one of the more interesting stories is this guy's. This is Travis Walton. This guy's got a little bobblehead. Travis Walton was a guy. I don't know if you ever saw that movie Fire in the Sky. It was based on a bunch of loggers in Arizona, and they saw this thing land. And this guy, Travis Walton, gets out of the truck and goes to it, gets blasted by this bolt of energy, collapses to the ground. His buddies take off. They're screaming in the car, all these loggers, like, we got to go back and get him, They turn around a mile later, go back, he's gone. He's gone for 5 days, and then he shows up back in the town 5 days later with this fucking wild story of being abducted, taken aboard this craft. They healed his body, and then they communicated with him and then returned him. And the thing about it is, like, all these experiences, these people talk about the exact same creatures. They talk about the exact same entities, these things with big heads and large eyes and spindly bodies, and they're communicating telepathically. It's universal. It's like over and over again. It's a very similar story. And the problem is, if it happened to you, who the fuck is going to believe you? It's a unique experience, a completely novel experience that only you have. And then you have to go and try to make sense of it to other people that haven't experienced it, and they're going to think you're fucking crazy. But if you have enough of these people that say the same story over and over and over again, which is, if you read John Mack, he was a psychologist from Harvard that did a lot of hypnotic regression work with people that have had alien abductions. And this guy was
I read that.
Did you ever? It's a crazy book,
I met
right?
him. I met John.
Did you
Mack.
really?
Yeah.
When did you meet him?
I met him on the campus at Harvard.
Oh, wow.
You know I went to Harvard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had a great night, and then went back home. No, I only visited there a couple times.
Well, I know you play really good chess.
I did play chess.
Magnus
You play?
Carlsen told me.
Huh?
I had Magnus Carlsen in a couple days ago.
Oh, really?
He told me that you did one of his opening moves, that you
Yeah.
did it for him. And he was like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, he couldn't even figure out why you did that. But he realized afterwards, like, oh, you're a really good chess player. That was actually a legitimate move. You did his opening, right?
Well, yeah. I did one time. I did an opening for the other guy. What's his name? Anyway, and I'm going to do this opening, and at the same time, I want to tip over with my pinky, tip over the king, just as a joke, because you tip over the king, the game's
Right.
over, right? So I did that. But then, and it was kind of a chuckle and everything, and picked it up, and then he's
right here?
looking quite concerned. Oh yeah, this was it. Look. Yeah, I hit it. I knocked it down, and then I
joke.
pushed it. Yeah, they slow it down, you can see it. But then I pushed the pawn, right? And then I realized, because I thought he said D4, right? He didn't say D4. He said E4. So I'm looking at his face, and he had whispered it to me into my bad ear. And I'm like, well, why do you got to whisper? I'm going to make the move anyway.
Well, Magnus
So
said you stuck
then it
around
was
and you played a lot of
embarrassing.
people, and you said you were really good.
Oh, that's very nice.
Coming from
Magnus
him.
Carlsen. Wow.
Yeah.
He's the Mozart, man.
Yeah. Fascinating guy. He was here a
Yeah.
couple days ago.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do admire him. He's great. And that whole thing, that just happened with the jeans, like that was great. Did you see it? He went to one of the big, I forget which tournament it was, but anyway, came in jeans, and they're very strict, right? And so they wouldn't allow him to play, and then so he basically was going to end up sacrificing the day because he came in jeans, right? He said, I just wasn't thinking about it, Well, so then he just like, you'll have to come back tomorrow. You're a sacrifice for the day. He's like, you know what? I won't be back tomorrow. And then boom, they changed the rules.
Oh, wow.
They changed it.
Yeah, that's a stupid rule.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit if you're wearing jeans?
I know. That
should be able
doesn't
to play in
make
a
you a better or worse player.
Yeah, it's stupid. Everybody should be able to have to play in their underwear. That way they don't have any devices on them.
Right.
You're not
But
doing
they could have it in them, too.
They could,
So
yeah.
maybe you got to do a rectal probing before. This is full circle with the talking about the aliens. But, maybe you have to do something before to...
Well, we got into very specific ways that people cheat. It was pretty interesting. He was talking to us about different ways that people have been busted cheating, different people signaling them in the room, moving to different parts of the room if they wanted the piece to move in a different area.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that one guy he said was cheating. He said he knew as soon as the move was made, and then he walked out.
Yeah.
That was another time.
Yeah.
He just like, there's no way this guy made this move. No chance.
Well, that was what was fascinating, that you could tell by the way a guy's playing that something was amiss, and that this is not inside of his capability. He knew the way the guy played so well that you could tell that something was off, which
Yeah.
is so crazy. Which is, I'm not literate in chess, so I don't understand how you could do that, but I believe him. Especially when you talk to him, like,
Well, he's got a thumper in his sock or something. Somebody's giving him
He thinks
looking
it's an
on a
earpiece.
computer, and then dun, dun,
he thinks
telling
it's
him-
an internal ear, like a very small invisible earpiece that they
Is
put
that
in
what
you.
he thought?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what he thinks. He thinks that one of the possible methods. And then there was the anal beads. People were talking about anal beads.
Anal beads. It's like guy don't want a thumper in his sock. He just wants to go pure inside man.
Yeah, I guess it would like vibrate. I guess you would do it like vibrate a certain amount of times first to indicate the letter, and then a couple times to indicate the number. And that's where the piece would go.
A little Morse code in the rectal cavity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long have you been playing chess?
I started playing more probably like 10 years ago, or maybe more than that. I started playing Willie.
Oh, wow.
Started playing Willie all the time. But then we'd switch over back to dominoes. He crushes me in dominoes, and then I was mostly winning chess. And then toward the end of our battles, he started switching to just, you know what, we'll just stay with the dominoes. Such a hustler.
Such a hustler. Yeah. I tried to interview him, but he's scared of COVID.
Yeah.
He's an old guy. Yeah. I
Yeah,
get it.
He's 92.
Can't take a chance getting infected. And, you know, a lot of old people, I got it. I got the fear because it's like death is close to them. It's just they're too vulnerable. I get it. I get why they got roped into it.
Well, yeah, the fear of germs. Yeah,
that was the Neil Young thing too. That's why I gave Neil Young a pass. I was like, I get it.
You still see wearing masks.
Oh, all the time, even in Austin.
Yeah.
I see them driving their fucking car still with masks on.
Yeah, alone in the car with the mask.
Yeah,
That
they're just
always
sick.
Confuses me. But you know, like, fear is a fairly relentless occupation for some, and I don't know. I just. You know, I studied the germ theory. You know how it came to be the backbone of Western medicine. Do you know?
The Rockefeller thing?
Well, that came after this. But yeah, Rockefeller pushed that whole narrative. But it was before that, in the 1887 or something, 89, where Louis Pasteur stood before the French Academy of Science and said, I've realized the origin of all disease, and it's the germ theory. And he took credit for the germ theory, which, of course, had been around for centuries at that point. But there was another guy named Antoine Béchamp who was actually a real genius, whereas Pasteur was a charlatan and he basically stole all these good ideas that he never had from Antoine Béchamp, including how fermentation works, how they had diseases in the grapes of at the time, so how to deal with that disease, and also having to do with where they make the silk, like silkworms and stuff. That also was another thing that Béchamp figured out, and then Pasteur, who's on the same committee, ends up reading these papers and basically kind of putting his own spin on it and getting credit for, the fermentation, the silkworm, the wine thing. Like each thing, he becomes more and more famous, and until he's able to sit down in front of Napoleon in 1863, Napoleon III, he said, I will eliminate all disease. I will eradicate all human disease. He was an arrogant guy, and he was a complete fraud. And Pasteur believed the germ theory, obviously. That's the theory that he pushed, right? And then Béchamp believed in the terrain theory. Now, that's what I believe. The terrain theory, the germ theory, obviously, a pathogen, a germ, a virus, whatever, it lands in your cornflakes or on your eyeball or whatever, it gets inside.
Right.
And then in this pristine blank slate environment, it causes damage, maybe sickness, and eventually death. To me, I don't believe this theory as much as I do the terrain theory, which is that your health is dependent upon your internal biological terrain and your internal filthiness or cleanliness. And so that's what I believe is where people's immune system gets messed up from what they're consuming. And in a nutshell, that's why I believe in Béchamp's theory as opposed to the germ theory. And at least it's got to be both. At the very least, it's got to be both.
I would imagine it's both. We know for a fact that one of the main factors in eliminating diseases in North America was when they started having hygiene and when they started having flowing water and sewage systems, and that just having cleanliness. Most cities at the turn of the century were filled with filth. During the smallpox epidemic, people lived terrible. They lived in filth. When you had various, there's a bunch of different diseases that can be attributed to poor hygiene. Poor hygiene, no access to antibiotics, no access to any kind of medicine, and we all attribute that just to a disease broke out. But why did the disease break out? Well, the people were living in filth. There was no running water. They didn't have any sewage systems. They didn't have any sort of antibiotics, and including when people talk about the Spanish flu, the Spanish flu broke out today, we'd be fucked. No, we wouldn't. First of all, we have antibiotics now. Spanish flu would be killed quickly. It's the real factor was all these diseases that people were getting because of the infection that could be cured by antibiotics. But
I'm
also,
not a big antibiotics guy.
at all?
No, I mean I took them. One time. I credit them with really having saved me. But
Oh, they'll save you under certain conditions.
right. If your immune system's shot and there's nothing else you can do to bolster your immune system in a short amount of time, where whatever is happening quickly.
But you're
then
saying
I
like
think-
ubiquitous use of antibiotics for everything.
Yeah, where it's just like
that's probably not
it's
good,
like a Pez dispenser that
Right.
and it does affect your immune system adversely, especially continuous use of antibiotics.
It's also why we have MRSA.
What?
MRSA. MRSA is medication-resistant staph infections.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's
okay.
I've had a bunch of friends who get that because it's one of the side effects. One of the unfortunate aspects of jiu-jitsu is a lot of guys get staph infections. You know, if you're not clean, you're
Because
not taking
of
care.
what?
Getting scratched and scraped up, and you're on the ground, dirty mats. People come in dirty, and you can get an infection. I've had staph twice. You get staph, ringworm, a bunch of different things that people normally get on the mat. But there's ways to combat that in a healthy, organic way. And one of the best ways is the use of. There's a bunch of different oils, tea tree oil and eucalyptus oil, a bunch of oils that don't affect your skin biome in a negative way. But what they do is they protect you from bad diseases. And there's a company called Defense Soap. And I always recommend it. I don't have any affiliation with them. My friend Guy Sacco runs the company, but he developed it because a bunch of wrestlers and grapplers were getting skin infections. And so he developed natural remedies that don't affect your, because a lot of times guys would take like antibiotic soap and they would clean themselves with antibiotic soap. The problem with that is it kills all your healthy flora, all the skin flora that's healthy. That gets torched too. It's taking a blowtorch to, like a small patch of weeds that you could just pluck out.
Right.
And instead of doing that, he developed a soap that uses all these natural organic remedies that doesn't affect you in a negative way at all. It's the only soap I use. I use that soap every day, and it keeps your skin healthy and it doesn't fuck it up. So there's ways around it. The real way is to prevent it though, because once you actually get staph, especially if it's aggressive, you got to take antibiotics or you're fucked.
Well,
It gets systemic.
yeah.
My friend's wife.
Mean, sorry. Go ahead.
So my friend, his friend's wife, rather, died of it. She was trying to do it organically. She was trying to like use herbal remedies, and she wound up dying of staph infection because it gets
she
systemic.
did?
Yeah, it gets
Yeah,
gets into your blood and goes into your whole body, and then you're fucked. And you really have to get on a heavy, hardcore IV antibiotics for long stretches of time. So I've had friends that have huge scars on their body because they got a massive MRSA infection in their knees, and then they had to get it all opened up. They have to clean it out, and they have to get them on IV antibiotics. It's a nightmare, and it's one of the main reasons why people die after surgeries. It happens after surgeries where people get MRSA infections.
Yeah. Well, Jesus. Let's
Superbugs.
just stay healthy.
Yes, stay healthy, Woody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you eat only vegetables? Is that what you're talking about, like meat? Are you a vegan?
I'm a vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, I really my real belief is in raw living food because I feel like we talk a lot about you getting your protein or you getting your carbs or whatever. I think the most important component of the food are the enzymes. Mm-hmm. The enzymes being the life force of the food, and the enzymatic activities, your eyes blinking, your heart beating, those are enzymatic activities. If it wasn't for enzymes, we couldn't do them.
Yeah.
Like enzymes are highly important. Anything you cook over 118 degrees for a minute, you destroy the enzymes and most of the nutritional value of the food. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm a believer in raw living food. And I just know from when I've had lots of experiments from when I was doing it and when I was eating a lot of cooked food, and you can really feel the difference. It's there's no question about it. Supporting the energy of the body better than anything. But meanwhile, I agree that it's very hard to avoid eating cooked food because it's delicious.
Yeah.
But to have as much raw as possible, that's my thing. And I try to get a lot of sprouts and microgreens and everything, and then I also eat cooked food.
Do you take algae or anything where you're getting B vitamins? Do you think?
Yeah, I take niacin. I should take more of a comprehensive B vitamin probably, but I do take reishi and I take ginseng every day. Yeah.
So healthy mushrooms.
Yeah, I believe in the
Lion's
healthy
mane, yeah.
mushrooms, and
I take all that stuff too.
yeah, there's a cool. Yeah, I got to get on the regular medicinal mushrooms. Those are crucial.
Yes,
and especially
yeah.
brain repair, which is, I think, something I need.
I think we all do.
To fix those pathways
Yeah.
that have been compromised.
Do you ever fuck around with nootropics? Do you take any nootropics?
Like what?
Nootropics are essentially nutrients that contribute to cognitive function. Building blocks for human neurotransmitters, acetylcholine, theanine, things along those lines.
No, I don't do that. But
No?
I'm open-minded.
Yeah.
I imagine Downey would know all about that stuff.
Yeah, I bet he would. Yeah.
Yeah, he's really, really knowledgeable about that. But you've studied this shit too. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing about it is, like, you could almost take stuff all day long because there's so many different things that could benefit you. You would
Right.
you'd have to have a fucking stack of shit in front of you all day long, which gets tiresome. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I much prefer. I mean, I think the best thing for restoring health, for if you're sick and you want to get better, is fasting. They've
Fasting
been
is
doing it for
fantastic for you.
thousands of years,
Yeah.
and it just works.
It does.
Because
Yeah.
the congestion in the body is really what disease is. It's congestion. And
It's inflammation.
Generally, but yeah, inflammation. You could call
Yeah.
it that too. But that congestion begins in the colon.
Mm-hmm.
And so you don't clean that out, issues.
Yeah. Do you concern yourself? Do you eat organic vegetables only?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's huge because I mean I think what is it, like 90-something% of people tested have glyphosate in their system. I was reading some study on fucking on Girl Scout cookies. Like how many, like, they've done studies on Girl Scout cookies where
Oh,
they break
Girl
them down and
Scout
find out what's in them. Oh, holy shit. They're fucking toxic as fuck. It's so many bad. Yeah, I'll send it to you, Jamie. I sent it to my wife because she's trying to avoid Girl Scout cookies.
See the smiling face of
those
the
little
Girl
hustlers.
Scout. You can imagine she's going to give you something bad.
Yeah, those little hustlers. They
Yeah.
they catch you at the grocery store. I'll find this for you, Jamie. There was this thing about. Oh, here it is. Different seed oils, all the different things in them. Yeah, it's probably one of them. What does it say here? Thin Mints being the worst offenders. 5 flavors of Girl Scout cookies contained. Scroll up, back up. Contained levels of glyphosate and heavy metals above EPA water safety limits. New investigation found 100% of tested Girl Scout cookies contained glyphosate. 100%. Controversial herbicide and Roundup. 88% contained toxic metals like arsenic, lead, and mercury. Key finding: Thin Mints had the highest glyphosate levels at 111.07 ppb, 334 times what experts say is harmful. Peanut butter patties had the highest heavy metal contamination, with lead reaching 42.5 ppb and aluminum at 27,500 ppb, ppm. 76% of cookies tested exceeded cadmium safety limits, and 96 contained lead.
That's wild.
Girl Scout USA, which sells 200 million boxes per year, $800 million in revenue, did not respond to researchers before publication. I wonder why.
Respond.
I wonder why. I wonder why they wouldn't chime in. Isn't that crazy?
Whoa. See, there you go. And by the way, that you could replicate this same thing in so much of the American diet.
What does Girl Scout cookies have to say? Girl Scout cookies are made with ingredients that adhere to food safety standards set by the FDA and other relevant authorities. Oh, really? Our trusted bakers remain committed to compliance with all food safety standards. Maybe we should change the fucking food safety standards. Just because you're
Yeah.
complying with bullshit standards.
Well, that's what I'm hoping is going to happen going forward.
I'm hoping too. I
Yeah.
think, I don't know how much Bobby can affect things and what he actually can do, but I know what he's trying to do. And one of the main things he's trying to do is this whole idea of this MAHA movement, make America healthy again. And that's possible. This is something we could do. And
He's so nice, dude. And you know, not a lot of, you know, it could be relatively simple. you
Yeah.
know? Just modification. Doesn't have to be a revolution in one's diet, but like, you know, first thing I'd do is cut out Girl Scout cookies. That's my first.
it's crazy that 100% of them have glyphosate. Like, fucking A, man.
But the glyphosate is just absolutely crazy, and
Yeah.
you know, like, it's just still, we know how toxic and terrible it is, and we're still using it constantly.
And other countries aren't.
In corporate, you know, or industrial farming. You
Yeah.
know, it's just wrong. And I know you're into regenerative farming. I think that's
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
But you know, you see over the long haul, the regenerative farmer gains. He gains financially, and he gains in terms of the soil not just turning to shit.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
well, you want some shit in your
Yeah,
soil.
you want
Okay, well, let's
actual
not
shit.
get
Manure.
sidetracked.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, like, you know, it's a net gain in the end. So hopefully,
It's carbon neutral.
Yeah.
And everyone's trying to reduce carbon. Organic farms are carbon neutral because that's how nature intended animals to live. That's how nature intended us to grow crops. It's also supposed to be animals graze, manure, all this different stuff. It helps.
you got
It
to
helps
think
everything.
of the soil biome just as much as you have to think of your own biome.
Yeah, and it all works together. And thank God there's people out there like Joel Salatin, who runs Polyface Farms, and Will Harris, who runs White Oak Pastures, who've educated these people and gone on, written books and gone on these tours and explained to me. Like Will Harris, who's been on the podcast a couple of times, like, he spent 20 years changing his family farm, which was a industrial farm, into regenerative agriculture. And you can see the difference in the soil. We have two glass bottles of soil out there, one from an industrial farm and one from his farm. And his farm is dark and rich and filled with nutrients, and the other one is just pale and dead and just covered in bullshit fucking chemicals.
And meanwhile, that's the stuff that gets highly subsidized.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a catch-22. If the real value, if the real expense of what happens to that soil were experienced by the American taxpayer, I think there'd be a revolt. Well, you never
Yeah.
know. We're lazy people. I'm a lazy bastard.
Well, the real problem is we have so many people that need food, and that we're reliant upon factory farming right now to a large extent, because there's enormous populations of people that that live in a place where they grow nothing. Whether it's New York City or it's Los Angeles, there's urban environments. They need food constantly shipped into them, and no one's growing anything, and the population keeps booming, and you got to get these people food. And we right now are dependent upon factory farming for a lot of that food.
Well, I wonder if you could, through regenerative farming, cover it.
I wonder.
Could that ultimately be?
Yeah, I wonder. I think people are definitely going to have to change the way they eat.
It has to change. Well, we at least have to change the way we farm, because otherwise we're going to have just more desertification.
But at least people are aware of it now. At least there's more information and more education about that today than has ever been before. I mean, this was never a discussion when I was a kid. I never heard anything about that. It was just being done, and this is just, you got food, and you didn't think about where it came from. And then the term organic came around, like, what's that? Like, it's no pesticides. Like, what's pesticide? What's on the food? Like, we didn't know. And back then, there was no access to any information other than mainstream media. So it was pretty easy for them to keep going on with these practices unless you went out and sought it out and went and found books, or someone told you about a book. You didn't know. You didn't get that information. I think more people have that information now than ever before. So that's one of the reasons why I'm hopeful. And I think Bobby really does have an idea of how to do this. And I hope he's successful.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. Well, listen, brother, it's been great talking to you. I really appreciated it. I'm very happy to meet you. I've enjoyed your work for so many years, so it's a pleasure to do this. And
pleasure's all mine, dude. I really am. It's a privilege to be here with you. Thank you for having me.
My
on.
pleasure. Let's break bread someday. Have a good time.
To.
Hang
Great.
out. Okay.
I'll get your info and
We're
I'll
friends.
give you my email.
All right. Sounds good, brother.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Well, this game is just so much fucking fun. This game is just something special. I just want to keep playing games that I like. Let's have fun and
Sup, team.
Detective
luck for
Abrams,
you, Lash.
summon me and I will relieve you of the tome.
Careful. Bebop is going for a bomb build. Ah, shit. This is bad.
I should go shopping.
And what can I? Stay 2 steps ahead of death, my friend.
For you.
Good cover, Lash. That Bebop is pretty much becoming our nightmare.
Fucking tell
Why
me
do you
about
sound
it.
like Abrams?
Get that. Motherfucking Bebop.
I didn't survive this long just to die here. They took out Lash.
Guys, start making a deal for that. Bebop got reactive barrier. At least Bebop doesn't advise.
10-4.
They took out Lash.
Hey, you're making history.
Go, go, go.
Our blue guardian has been defeated.
Yep, I'm making a Bebop build. Fuck it. Lash, I suggest we start farming. I'm getting a hate boner now.
Seven's missing.
Seven's missing. Bebop is missing, yes.
This book is dangerous. I can't let it fall into the wrong hands.
Infernus is missing.
Smoking
Infernus.
dick.
You're looking to survive. You came to the right place.
Headed to Broadway.
Bebop here.
Our blue walker is under attack. Much blessed.
I'm headed to Greenwich.
Go ahead.
Bebop is missing, yes.
He is here at my ass.
No one stands toe-to-toe with me.
He's farming our camps.
I should check out that shop.
If we get to 10 minutes and Abrams and Lash don't get a single kill, I'm leaving the fucking game.
Dude, what the fuck? We only have one kill and Lash has 3. That's normal.
Lash, Abrams, Mirage, 10 minutes. One of you guys don't get a single fucking kill, I'm leaving the game.
Okay, then do it. For fuck's sake, I'm not gonna be responsible for your
4
bullshit.
minutes. 4 minutes.
Go
You
ahead.
have 4 minutes to get one kill, a single kill.
Can't stop me.
I don't know what the fuck is that. You can do whatever the hell you want. I'm not your master.
I just want to kill, pussy. That's all I want.
You only have one yourself, bud.
Yeah, one more than you.
I have
Oh,
2.
congratulations.
Giving you 4 minutes to get one kill.
I have 2 kills.
I gotta figure out how to use this thing.
This is too early for this bullshit. You can do whatever the hell you want. If you go out, that means I go to another game, and I tried my best in the other game. I'm not gonna deal with your bullshit.
Our blue walker is under attack.
Get up here.
I'll take all of you.
I see Bebop. Headed to green.
Fuck, 7 and Bebop are stalking blue.
Now go out there and impose your will.
Our blue walker is under attack. Your arcade.
Bebop's missing. Headed to blue.
The Mo has 30% bullet resist by nature. The Mo. If you go for Krill, then you can do full damage. So you better aim at Krill if you can, because it's
I see
fucking hard.
Bebop.
You're looking to survive. You came to the right place.
Get up here. He's in our secret
Bebop
store.
is missing, yes.
Seven's missing.
Headed to purple.
30 seconds to get one kill.
Then go the fuck out, dude. I'm not gonna deal with that. What the hell? What's that wrong?
Our green guardian has been defeated.
Stay strong, buddy.
Mid-boss has has arrived.
That is a real bitch ass fuck.
Hey, how we report? Everyone report him, and then he gets put in the priority matchmaking.
How can we report him?
If he has escape and then not next to his name.
Okay.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed. Our blue walker is under attack.
Done. Well, it's been a while since I dealt with that kind of asshole. I'm gonna remember that name.
Need help on blue.
Walker is under attack. Our purple walker is under attack. Our green walker is under.
Thanks.
Headed to green.
Yo, Abrams, why are you hitting my friend, bro?
Oh. My bad.
I see Infernus.
Oh, we're doing shenanigans. I wish we could complete this. Let's go.
Need help on blue.
Need help on green.
Let's go. Let's go.
Our green walker has been destroyed.
Whatever reason, Calico wants me dead. She's pursuing me.
Hey, infa kill Calico.
Our blue walker is under attack. Your patron cries for blood.
When is the next patch? Does any of you guys know? I forgot.
They abandoned the game, but never updating it again.
They took out Holiday.
Our yellow walker is under attack. Our yellow walker has been destroyed. Our blue walker is under attack.
Nah, I knew it. I knew you still had 0 fucking kills, you dog shit ass player.
Been destroyed.
Oh, for fuck's sake, you're back. Please, for the love of heaven.
Our purple walker is under attack.
They took out Lash.
Shoot him already? Thank you.
Run from the storm cloud.
Oh well, I need to sleep, so I'm gonna try to find one good game. Enjoy, guys. Really,
They took out Holiday.
For the love of heaven, that was nasty and worthless. For fuck's sake.
Today's video is all about the ladies who had a crush on Peter, young and old. They're all here. Stick around for this hilarious ride, and thanks for watching. Number 1, Gretchen, Peter's ex-girlfriend. Season 14, Episode 17. Everything kicks off when Lois decides to transfer Stewie to a fancier school called Corridors, where all the kids wear shorts and rock hats, like a backup guitarist in AC/DC.
When I picked this, I didn't know I'd have to wear it when I'm 60. I'm very cold.
The only hiccup? Tuition costs an arm and a leg. To make ends meet, Lois gets a job at the post office, where we get a glimpse of a future dominated by real dolls.
200 million men in this country will be ordering and receiving real dolls. Every man will have 7 to 9 real dolls. Asians, blonde Southern girls, blonde Asians capable of performing every possible sexual act.
Cleveland gives her the grand tour, but his dignity takes a nosedive when he gets bullied by Amazon's delivery drones.
Hey, Cleveland, what are you doing? Taking a walk?
No, I'm delivering mail.
By foot? Yeah, that won't take too long. Well, gotta go. Gotta deliver these fat pants to your fat son.
During her shift, Mayor West drops off an undeliverable letter, and Lois volunteers to sort through the dead letter bin to see if she can match any letters with the right addresses. But surprise, surprise, she stumbles upon a letter Peter wrote to some mystery woman just 1 week before their wedding.
Good luck, guys. Have fun and enjoy. Hopefully this fight will be best. Or better than the last one I had. I had a asshole.
Mo and Krill, time and again you've shown that no building is impregnable. Complete the ritual and break me free.
We'll turn their numbers against them.
Geist. Shall we pause it again?
Careful, Krill.
Oh boy, this match is getting problematic. Guys, you got the controller?
Welcome, welcome. It's brutal out there, huh?
Slow him down. Keep fighting, Morris.
Careful, Krill.
Got it.
You want to buy a mug to go with your gun?
The more of them, the better.
Thanks.
Nice. Great work.
Thank you.
Momo, go back down.
Endurance spirit. I suppose I'm going with the same Ultra 10.
Someone's gonna be bleeding on the concrete, but it ain't gonna be you.
I need help with Abrams. We don't back down from anyone. we can buy now.
Ah, the old New York tuxedo.
Going low.
Keep the pressure up, boys.
Abrams low.
Not killing us. Momo, I think we have a problem.
Now that
Mother. Ah, shit. I'm sorry, dude. I can only kill Abrams.
I'm watching you, Dynamo. I'm watching the bomb. Dynamo.
Is Bebop going bomb build?
Yes.
Oh fuck. I better make defensive build. That shit hurts way too much.
Alright, Dynamo, a little bit aggressive. We'll wait for a Talon thing to go down and be aggressive on fucking ward.
Wait, talking about me? What do you mean?
start digging. Oh, we're in it now.
Abrams have help.
Someone's using their noodle.
Tear them apart. Leave them to me, boys.
Not afraid of you. They've taken our Yellow Guardian.
Abrams is missing.
Then get in there and give him hell.
I'm coming, Dynamo.
Taking their cannons.
We don't back down from anyone.
Going back.
We will never yield.
Bebop behind you.
Oh, we're in it now.
Oh fuck, we have 3 here, guys.
We have 2 here. Yellow needs to push.
Come on. Then you can push Calico. Take advantage. Bebop is not there, although he might easily go back the moment you go to Guardian. Try to push whatever you can.
They destroyed the Guardian on Greenwich.
Fuck. Bebop pretty much screwed us over. We weren't that bad, really.
Let's take out Great Talon.
Going to start farming a little bit. Need to make the build a little bit more tanky.
Keep fighting, boys.
My power is yours to wield.
I'm coming, magician.
Going yellow.
Mid-boss has
Range
arrived.
buff's active. Get up here.
Let's go, purple.
Oh fuck! I don't know if we can arrive on time.
Let's take out Paradox.
Is waiting to be claimed.
Taking the teleporter. Yeah, fucking Abrams just appear here in yellow.
Got 2 here.
You ready, Maurice?
Can I get some help here? There's 2 here.
Took the garden, but I'm dead.
Enemies need to be contained.
Trying to push green. Wait a minute. 2 of ours are green. What are you
Yellow
talking
Walker is under attack.
Ah, fuck. Let's see. Shit. I need to take a more stealth approach. I'm not gonna get the end of this shit, that's for sure.
The 2 of us can.
Green Walker is under attack.
Your time to shine, Maurice.
Green.
Garage, go to a different lane, please. Move up.
Be brave.
Purple needs help.
We can put these souls to good use.
They've taken our purple guardian.
I got one of those for the missus. Big fan.
Look who it is. Not this guy again, for the love of heaven. Get out of here. We killed the Guardian, but he might be dead. Get out of there, Dynamo. You can do it. Yes. Nice, dude.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
We have 2 in green. Go in blue.
Our blue walker is under attack.
Hey, Talon low. Abrams low too. Shit.
Our blue walker is under attack.
Good track, girl.
Thank you. Happy to help. Oh, fuck. Paradox is making an unfavorable.
Purple walker is under attack.
Oh, shit. Fuck. I'm being fucking destroyed here.
Oh, if literally anyone fucking rotates to green, we can kill these guys.
Your valor is rewarded.
You cannot force it. Fuck, man.
Care, Dynamo.
We gotta play defensive without giving up fishing.
Care, Dynamo. They're coming green, Care.
Shit, I might be dead.
Our purple
We have to get out of here.
Mirage is down.
Dude, they're just sitting and landing.
I
I don't know
look, I'm pushing blue.
what everyone's doing, man.
We're trying to push all the other lanes, and they're trying to simply make us make a mistake by forcing green. It's fucking insane, but it's working.
They've taken our purple walker. Green walker is under attack.
I cannot defend green alone. It's pretty much suicide. Shit.
Yeah, I don't know what people are doing, bro.
They destroyed the walker on green.
This is just the beginning.
We fight at a moment like we are right now. Many of them can one-shot, especially Ace. Bebop is taking advantage of the fact that he's never alone. He can wait and fish for us with that stupid hand. Mistake, and we're
Our blue walker is under attack.
We aren't afraid to get up close.
clean and purple.
We don't back down from it.
The spirit urn is waiting to be cleaned.
Kyle, can you please push lane?
Blue walker is under attack.
Nice, got we can go on team fights. It feels so fucking shut down, especially with Bebop there. He hooked me 3 fucking times in the same moment there. Fuck. Huh, no wonder he has Echo Shard already. And superior cooldown. He's fishing like his fucking fishing the fisherman or Mickey Mouse in the boat. Fuck.
Care for Abrams.
I see Abrams.
Exquisite, isn't it?
Coming blue.
I'm gonna try to be sneaky now, guys. I don't think team fights are the best.
Our blue
I'm gonna try to get a
walker
burst.
is under attack.
At least we might get a flex slot like that.
Be rewarded.
Don't back down.
Someone push green, please.
Fuck. Paradox was hunting down. It's pretty much a death sentence.
Out of the way, Savannah.
Oh.
Can someone help Dynamo? Magician, can you help Dynamo, please? It's 3v2. Kill these guys.
Taken our yellow walker.
I see warden.
Care green. Blue, care blue, care blue.
Walker is under attack. They've taken our blue walker.
I hate myself right now. Motherfucking Bebop.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
If you need more protection, you know where to find me.
Warren needs to be brought low.
We're not dying today. Once we get our hands on him, and by we I mean Maurice, they're done for. Oh, we're in it now.
Care Dynamo?
The urn has been dropped.
That's gonna help keep your blood on the inside.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
Please be more careful.
I see Paradox.
Fuck. At least I wanted to try it. Fuck! We might get purple somehow due to the creepers. Nice. Holy shit, nice. Holy shit, guys. Amazing.
I could do this all day.
We might be able to go mid.
No, I don't go selling these to just anyone.
Go in mid.
I got what's it called? Purple and thing. So we're down one thing. We're down a Oh, I'm coming. Coming.
I'm parrying. Somebody coming.
I'm coming. Good. Let's get green. I'll push up blue. 5 on green. I'll push blue.
Rage buff's active. Take them before them.
Push hard.
Let's push green.
I think I'm gonna collapse too. I'm coming green. Yeah, I think that no.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
They took out Dynamo.
It's all good. We have rejuve. It's fine. I'll push up blue. I'm gonna push up blue. Give you guys a little bit of space.
Going back to base.
Let's go green.
We didn't kill anybody on that run, so.
It's brutal out there, huh?
Let's get earn. Someone get earn. He's gonna be close to us.
I will try it again, but this time I will try to use Dick.
Headed to yellow.
Calico's doing it. If they get distracted with their urn, I'm trying to take green then.
Let's go. Let's go green. Let's go green. Headed to yours.
Fuck, I almost got it. I hope, but I didn't have enough DPS, not with haste there.
Coming.
Let me show you how it's done.
Go out there and impose your will.
This is how it starts. Enemies have reached our
A little aggressiveness.
Protect the stronghold.
Pull back.
I'm coming, Mirage. I'm coming for Great Talent. I'm coming. Come on, help him. Turn up. If we can get that. Oh, it's too late.
Grow stronger.
Green is literally one hit away or a few hits away. Anybody could go there and just hit it from behind even with his shield. I might try that.
Pull back.
The dirt.
Care. They're gonna be converging care. We're a man. Oh man.
Motherfucking Bebop!
strongholds.
Please give me somebody else. I simply don't know what to use. Hello. Hello, teammate Saka.
Hello.
Trust doesn't come easy for you, Abrams, but know this. When you complete the ritual, I will hold up my end of the bargain.
Wait, can you keep it paused? I need to restart. I have 20 FPS.
Sure.
Okay.
Is it better?
A little.
Let's hope so.
Warden's over there.
I see you. Look who's ready for the 2 a.m. Metro ride. I see 7. Convicts on the move.
My fault.
Allow me to pique your curiosity. Today, you're making history. Convicts on the move. Warden's over there. Warden's on the bridge. Stay safe out there.
idiots want to walk up to me and die. That's fine by me.
Seven and Warden are trying their best to also stay outside.
Let's take out Warden.
You're welcome.
Kill me.
Let's take out 7. I see 7.
Nice, nice. Gotta keep this up. Holy shit, dude.
Nice shot.
Be rewarded.
Nice job.
Sorry. Good job.
You wanna fight me?
Then I'm alone.
No one's giving up. Our purple walker is under attack. Out of my way.
Got her.
Don't bother getting up.
Good job.
Dynamo's still low. Got it.
Keep trying, kid.
Pull back.
No one breaks me.
I see Warden.
Do teleports open in 8 or 10 minutes?
Repeat it? I didn't hear you.
Do teleporters on the map open at 8 or 10 minutes?
I think they'd...
8.
Yeah, 8, I think. I'm not sure, really. I thought it was... Part of me thinks it was with bridge buffs. I might be wrong. Maybe 8.
Your enemies will curse your name.
Not afraid of you.
I was going to teleport on 8 or something.
Sorry, McGinnis.
Mirage is missing.
Warden's over there. I see Hayes.
Bebop is gaining momentum. They've taken our purple guardian.
can't go against this haze.
I might need to make a build for her alone. Holy shit.
She's just wrong,
Yamato
is under attack.
Haze is missing.
Well, let's try to farm whatever you can. I am making, just in case, an anti-bullet build. What's for me?
Okay, I'm trying to farm as much as I can. She just totally kept denying me every single turn.
Mirage might be roaming to Grin.
I see Haze.
Over the terrain.
I see Warden.
Oh!
It's pretty good. She hits body shots mostly, but
no
it's
convicts on the move.
It can be. She just can hit her shots at the very least.
Let's go. The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
She's invisible, by the way.
Oh fuck, she's here. She's here.
I see 7.
It's burning.
I see 7.
Really low here.
Fuck. Nice slash.
Warden's over there.
Anima's low too.
That's when I get a chance.
I'm too low. I'm 1 hit away. I need to heal a little bit.
Here, I'll protect the lane a little bit. You go.
Not bad.
I mean, my lane's already fine, so I got nowhere else to be.
He's about to get his legs broken.
Thanks, McGinnis.
Yeah, I'm going back over here. She's gonna try to push my walker. I really don't know what to really handle.
Walker is under attack.
Whatever you can. Get ready for the mid lane.
7's missing. Let's take out 7.
She's 1 hit away. Fuck.
Guys, please. I can't do anything. She's gonna get the walker.
Oh, I'm always lighting things on fire.
Walker is under attack.
I saw that you were able to kill somebody that it wasn't Haze. So yeah, this bit.
We got what we came for.
She's gonna get the walker.
Headed to purple.
I see 7.
She just hits everything.
Well, as long as it's not a cheater, it's not invincible.
I see Haze.
My friend, survival is paramount.
My power is your power.
Dynamo and Tomato back at it. I should be able to fight them all.
Oh shit.
Oh fuck, what the hell? Yamato and... Oh.
Yamato's missing.
Headed to green.
Our purple walker is under it. They destroyed the walker outpost.
Keep your eyes on Haze.
Every time I go against her, I die. I can't go against her.
Don't worry about her.
She's too
Don't feed
BP.
her. Don't feed her anymore. Only make it harder for you.
She's here.
Headed this way.
She's at 13k. Be careful. She has cold run. She likes to be up close.
I see Haze.
I'll try to solo her.
I see Dynamo.
7's near.
I don't go selling these to just anyone.
Pushing purple. Or let me see if I can help with Ace.
Coming in.
Good work. out. Headed to green. Headed to green.
You thought you were gonna keep me down.
Watch out for that haze.
Let's push Greenwich.
I see Mirage.
Out of my way.
What?
The spiritor.
Haze is missing.
Both of them are out my ass.
I'm coming. I almost got my ult.
You're taking yellow. I'm out on the sudden.
Let's take out Mirage. I see Warden. Let's take out Mirage. Need help on green.
I need a backup.
Taken our yellow guardian.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna try to take purple. We need that. Although I don't want to.
I'm gonna leave with you.
I can teleport there and go purple to take Tower with you as well.
I don't know if both of us should go.
Look out for Mirage.
Problem is that they're gonna take the chance. Try.
I can.
Haze
I
is.
can get out.
Haze is
Let's push green.
Yamato is here.
I see Yamato.
Try to take purple. You
I
can
can
do
get
it,
it
Lash.
fast.
Yeah, you take purple? I'm gonna try and do just some damage on yellow blocker.
Teleporting.
They're teleporting me.
Yeah,
I see Yamato.
insane.
I got two here.
I'm gonna take yellow up.
I did what I can, but I couldn't kill the fucker. She's taking blue. Oh fuck, Tui purple. We're so close.
Dynamo is here.
Oh, nice McGinnis. Nah,
Someone's
sorry, not
gotta stop
McGinnis.
the haze. They're gonna get another walker.
Holiday.
I don't know if I have a speed boost.
Oh yeah, he's on fire. No, he's not. Oh fuck, guys.
Holy shit, how much DPS does this motherfucker has?
That's what I'm trying to say.
I can see haze.
I got it here.
I'm gonna try and backdoor purple.
I see Dynamo. I see Mirage.
Watch out behind.
Nice.
Same here.
I see Yamato.
Is he chasing? No.
I see Warden.
It's 3 green. Haze going for yellow walker.
Need help on yellow.
Need help on Greenwich.
Use my ult against me. Just kind of hold her there.
Our yellow
He's gonna need to
walker
pass
is
on
under
it.
attack.
Oh shit. We need help on green.
I see haze.
You guys rotate green. I'll take care of it.
They destroyed the Guardian on Greenwich.
I'll fight green in a second.
I see 7.
An ambush could be coming from anywhere.
have no health.
Nice job, nice job.
They want to kill me. They're gonna have to work for it. Come on.
Dynamo took that.
Take out Dynamo.
Dynamo is out.
Keep your eyes on Hayes.
Thank you. Dude, Hayes is a problem.
Hayes going back for yellow.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed.
She has a silence glyph, by the way. Be careful.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm hiding in first.
I might get knocked down just to try to at least
You need more
stop
protection.
her a little
You
bit.
know where to find me.
After the nerves are knocked down, that is not the best strategy for Hayes. The best you can do, or the thing that you want is curse, although it's more expensive, really.
Or get another silence glyph.
Hayes by bridge buff.
Keep your eyes
2-2
on
now.
Hayes.
Careful, last shield's gonna get danked.
Oh, thank you!
Where did they go?
What a hero save. What a save.
There's 3 here. Hayes yellow. I'm not fighting this, I'm just gonna continue farming.
We can,
Headed to
get
blue.
this guy here.
Really?
I'm about to Our yellow walker is
Nice.
Let them weep, lad.
I can see Hayes.
This could be a trap.
Flanking Hayes.
Another falls before Bebop.
This Hayes is just gonna continue trying to take out.
Take all of you.
Oh my god.
Green
I'm
Walker
pissed.
under attack.
Come green.
Charging in.
Careful. Oh, Abrams.
Gray
Oh,
and
no.
blue. Fuck me, man. Too greedy for my own sake, I suppose.
Someone green. Warden green.
Careful on yellow. Coming
I'm
on
coming to help,
green.
yeah. I got my ult for that.
3 green.
Shit, my bad.
I have to back on first, I have no health. I'm not with you.
I'd like some help here. Fuck.
Fuck, Mirage is
Yeah,
one
man.
hit away. Get out of there, Holiday's way too dangerous. 3 of them there.
I'm coming to green.
I have last one in a second, but I don't think it'll matter.
Watch for Hayes too. They're really aggressive.
Someone on left.
to push purple.
Back up, back up.
Doing green.
Nah, I'm dead. The soul to me is crazy.
I see Yamato.
I will bolster your mind and spirit.
I see Dynamo.
The spirit urn is waiting.
Yellow needs help.
Going yellow.
The worst one.
I see 7.
Here's someone here. Oh, there's 2 people. Help.
Yellow walker is under attack.
They're attacking this.
They've taken our yellow.
Four here. Back.
Pull back!
Try to draw them in a little bit. I have my ult.
Fuck, hopefully I will have enough time. Mirage doesn't have.
There's 5 yellow, 5 yellow, 5 yellow.
I see Warden.
Protect the stronghold.
Got it.
Back up, give up. Why are you pushing him?
Back, pull back, pull back, pull back.
Nothing stops me.
No, no, pull back.
I want to take the advantage.
Pull back!
Even if I die. I want to say
They're coming.
Take it. Fuck,
They're
Mirage is
coming.
here. Fuck what I said. Now! I'll take you all on.
Five here.
I'm coming blue.
Headed to pull back!
So.
Phase blue. Dynamo blue.
Going back.
Pull back!
Please no.
Keep up the good work, McGinnis.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Let's take out 4. Away.
The dynamo is alone on the left. Nice, nice, nice.
Let's push. I see Mirage.
Pull back!
Your patron cries for blood.
On left. Back up, back up, back up.
Oh, Yamato and Mirage is here.
He's here.
Swing by anytime.
Up on my left.
Low. Oh fuck.
back up.
Tree
Don't
here,
fight
tree
them.
here.
Back up,
Let's
back up,
get,
please. Back
get out.
Pull back!
We should not be fighting this.
Yeah, backing out.
Pull back.
Reach about
Work,
second.
McGinnis. That's what you think to be this good.
We just have to try and go for one-off picks. We can't really take group fights right now. If you see someone by themselves, say something.
I am alone, trying to take you again. I might be dead.
The spirit urn is
Mirage
waiting to be
is more
claimed.
Dynamo as well. Oh, Abrams is dead.
I try to push it way too far.
Yamato is not one to trifle with.
Fuck. I don't think I'm playing horribly, but sadly I'm being shut down everything I do.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's just not something that we can really do. Dynamo pushing up blue.
I'm gonna try to take it a little bit back.
Fight by base. We don't need to push this. Someone on right. Don't push that. Let the troops push up first. 2 top mid. Just back up, back up, back up. I know it's annoying not to go for these fights, but they're really good on rotates, and we just need to make sure that we can actually confirm fight. Like, if they're at mid, we can't even push that.
Gonna try to clean the purple wave. If somebody's there, I'm
Mirage pushing
backing
up.
out.
I see Yamato.
I try to use my ult on him and enemy.
Bring your enemy.
Dynamo is out, so try not to ult them into us.
Look out for Mirage.
I see Mirage.
Alright.
Fuck me.
Let's take out Dynamo.
Just back up.
Careful, Bebop phase is there. Going back to heal, and after that going for her.
Come back if you need anything else.
Keep up the
Do not go into that fight.
McGinnis. Your team needs you.
We do not have
I have my ult, but I'm just waiting for them to
I'm-
actually be in the
I'll get
open.
good damage. It's
If Flash can get a good ult, then go for it.
I
Otherwise,
heard haze, bye.
alright, take 7 out, take 7 out. Nice.
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 Watch out for Dynamo ults.
Dynamo is here.
Don't group up too hard against him.
Going blue. Oh fuck, Haze is there yet again.
Pull back.
She moved to purple to clean.
Let's take out Dynamo.
I'm gonna at least have the troops.
I see Mirage.
Careful, Abrams.
Careful, Abrams.
Yeah, I'm not pushing my luck anymore.
I see Warden.
Yes,
can use
please
my
careful.
Yeah, if Dynamo or if Deadlock can get a good hook, we can continue doing stuff.
Let's take out
Haze is here, Haze is here.
Got her.
Haze Mirage, back up.
Watch out, you're gonna be about to get double teed.
Going to shop.
Rush, cover.
I'm gonna fix purple.
Going
Down the
back.
player, remember that.
Cleaning purple. Oh. Man, playing so much defensive is so hard.
It really is. We just don't have the group ults. Like, we have Lash, but we don't really have anything to follow up with.
More than
They're
that,
really
it's that
good
they're
at
hunting it.
keeping their distance from me, though.
Yeah.
It's really frustrating.
I can't really get a clear.
Try and get Majestic
Bolt on
Reap if you can, because it's insane on Lash, one of his best items.
Yeah, I'm gonna save up for that. I'm almost there.
There's two at least on
Get
yellow.
that
I don't know
bridge
how many more.
I see 7.
Dynamo's behind us.
See Dynamo!
Fuck is? Oh, he's on the roof.
Shit. The only thing that I can think of is creating distractions. That's what
It
I'm
might be
gonna
baiting. Yeah, that's a.
There's the professor.
I see Mirage.
I see Mirage.
He came.
The spirit
Oh my
urn is
god, they
waiting
jumped
to
me
be claimed.
immediately.
I'm going to create a distraction. Be ready to back
coming.
up if possible. Don't try to fight more than necessary.
Yeah, just back up if you can. In fairness, try not even going in that
That is
direction.
far
just
enough
go
for
through
me.
Blue. Go through blue.
Yellow
Convicts on the move.
should push them back for a moment or distract them a little bit.
Headed to blue.
Someone's gonna be bleeding in the concrete, and it ain't gonna be you.
Enemies have breached our stronghold.
I see Dynamo.
Bebop, pull them in.
Well, nice. They don't have a dynamo for.
This is
Try
Try
they don't have a
to
dynamo for mid.
intercept
I
if
think
you
we can
can.
push this. Yeah, push this.
The rejuvenator is
You
descending.
gotta use your old Abrams if you can.
Let's go.
Got it.
Nice steal.
Back up if we can. Back up if we can. Don't need to continue fighting. Don't need to continue fighting.
Continues to vex me.
Good ult. Lash, are you stuck?
Yeah, I'm trying to get away as fast as possible. I think I got up.
Okay, nice.
I'm gonna try to create more distractions.
I
That's
see
the only
Mirage.
thing I can do. Still need those stupid walkers. They have been defending that shit as it was in Fort Knox.
It's really difficult. Mirage,
I mean,
overextended.
we have a
Come on,
little
like,
bit
come
of
on.
advantage. Someone can passively push up blue while we make a distraction on green.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna try to defend that one guard. You want to make a little distraction, McGinnis, and then we head on out. I can use my ult for us to escape if we get too aggressive.
I'll be right back.
It's right here. I'm gonna try and bait him up.
Purple might
Someone on right,
actually
someone on right.
distract them now.
Careful.
Keep up the good work, McGinnis. Your team needs you.
Alright, we can back up, back up, back up.
I see
Back up,
7.
back up.
Oh, careful.
Need help on blue.
Yep.
Headed to
Oh,
green.
nice.
Still time to push with the rejuvenator.
Purple should distract them enough. Oh fuck. Green is being taken.
Pull back.
Shit.
Man.
Ready to get pursuit.
Well, there's only 3 on green. We might actually have a chance to push them back. Not kill them, but push them back.
Death
Dynamo
has come
pushing
Get
this
that
last.
dynamo.
once more.
ult.
Let's get out of here. It's not worth it. They're coming back. They're grouping there.
Out of my way.
Fuck.
Crush Yamato and let her broken body serve as a warning
They
to
just have a better ult than
enemies.
China?
Honestly, it's actually just crazy. I don't think there's anything you can do or do.
Pace is slow, but I cannot kill everybody there.
The spirit urn is waiting to be claimed. Stop them from completing the ritual.
I have my ult, but we should play off that. I'm gonna try to go for it.
Where's
She's low,
Yamato?
she's low, Yamato low.
Protect the stronghold.
Don't mind the blood.
Yeah, they back off. Just push out our lanes.
It's gonna give them more than they bargained for.
Okay, I'm gonna try to get Urn. Fuck, they're near Urn right now. That might be dangerous, but I need.
I mean, that's fine. Just bring it toward us because it'll be on our side. Are they still there?
More than that is to create a distraction. They are pretty much making it impossible. Oh fuck.
Haze
Mirage and
comes as well.
Haze are on me. I cannot do it. They're near.
Careful, Holiday.
Yeah, I know. I'm just making space.
I'm with you, Holiday, if there's more people show up.
Okay, gonna try it again. They might have
I don't
gone
hear.
by.
Let
Mirage
the ley
still here.
lines course through you.
Just get back.
Thanks for the pickup.
Okay, I'm gonna teal and then I'll go back to purple.
I see hay.
Going purple.
I don't have my ult for that urn, so we gotta be careful with that.
I have my ult.
If Haze is there, but try to get. If somebody can push while they're distracted, that's what we need.
Since I don't have my ult, I'll push up.
I see Haze.
Or at least distract them a little bit on green.
Thank you.
I got her burning. She's half health. Almost. Okay, good.
I'm going to help.
Pull back.
Well, they didn't.
Unfortunately, we're too pushed up. We couldn't really do anything.
You got the urn, right?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, cool.
If you like that, I got some
Warden's
other
over
stuff
there.
that fell off the truck.
Pushing yellow. Just trying to be distracted. Also trying not to die. One more team well done. It's game over.
It's got a roadway.
They're on the right side. You can just come back.
Oh, Haze is here. Haze is here.
Has arrived.
Oh, bang. Holiday might actually push
pushing
them
hard.
back. Come on, Holiday, you can do it.
Protect the stronghold.
Fuck. Going back, Holiday, keep at it.
Okay.
Can't.
I at least got the haze. Nice grab, nice grab. Protect the charger.
Let's stick together.
There's only 4 of them. Careful.
I'm gonna hard stuck it. Just keep doing damage to them.
Second. Yeah, nice. Yeah. Okay.
No, I cannot do it.
Good times. It was an honor.